On va faire une très courte pause, quelques secondes, de promo, puis après on se retrouvera sur RFI pour la composition de l'équipe de l'Angleterre et puis évidemment pour vivre le coup d'envoi de la finale de l'Euro 2020 tout de suite sur RFI.
Le débat africain.
Lorsque l'on parle des femmes burkinabées, c'est souvent pour évoquer l'excision, la polygamie ou encore l'analphabétisme. Si ces préoccupations sont réelles et que la condition féminine au Burkina Faso est difficile, elles sont nombreuses à dénoncer ces clichés réducteurs qui offrent peu d'espoir aux jeunes filles. Rencontre à Ouagadougou avec 4 femmes.
I'm Esker Cat, and you've been listening to In the Studio. My producer was Christine Pommet, and this BBC World Service program was brought to you by CTVC.
This is the BBC World Service, and for the next World Book Club, Harriet Gilbert is talking to author Jane Harper about her novel, The Dry.
Right from the start, I knew I wanted to have kind of 2 mysteries for the reader to solve.
It's a chilling story set under a sweltering sun.
The question, I guess, for the reader and for the characters is, to what degree, if any, those 2 events have intertwined.
World Book Club at bbcworldservice.com/World Book Club.
Here's the car coming. The remote control car is bringing the ball out to the referee, Dion Kuipers. Italy, blue shirts, black shorts, blue socks. We're about to get underway. Italy with Donnarumma, Di Lorenzo, Bonucci, Chiellini and Emerson, Barella, Jorginho and Verratti, Chiesa, Immobile and Insigne. And England with Pickford, Walker, Stones and Maguire, 3-4-3. Trippier, Phillips, Rice and Shaw, Mount, Sterling and Kane. It will be Italy who get the Euro 2020 final underway after the players take a knee, and applause all around Wembley Stadium for that. The players of both sides joining in with the gesture. And here we are, the moment has arrived at Wembley. This is the biggest football match for England for 55 years. The biggest sporting occasion this country has staged since 1966. Say some, certainly the biggest football match. And England, all in white, playing from right to left, win the ball back for the first time on the half side, the Italian half. So it is Italy against England in the final here at Wembley. The finals on BBC One television tonight. You can listen to our excellent friends and colleagues, Guy Mowbray and Jermaine Genius, or you can watch with our 5 Live commentary, all synced up via the iPlayer or the red button. And you can also get involved on the BBC Sport website live pages. And the match is underway, the final is underway. Oh, there's a heavy touch by Maguire, who turned under pressure and has passed the ball straight out of play for a corner. And exchanges words with Jordan Pickford, but what an unforced error that was by Harry Maguire.
Yeah, very, very shaky start from England, and Harry Maguire trying to pass the ball back to Jordan Pickford. Straight out of play, Italian corner.
Italian corner from the right. So England have got to be strong here in the early stages. In the second minute, it's going to be taken by little Insigne. Lots of Italian movement. In it comes towards the penalty spot. And it's cleared away by Harry Maguire, who got there first on the volley. Up towards the halfway line, Mason Mount is there. More Chelsea players in this Italian starting lineup than there are England players in the England team. Harry Kane takes it on into the centre circle. Here's the ball out to Trippier on the right-hand side. Trippier with a cross towards the back post. Shaw scores on the volley!
Trippier, who does so well. Shaw into Kane. Kane on the half, turn inside his half. Drops the ball out to the right-hand side. Walker with the overlap, takes a man with him, and Trippier stands the ball up far post. Luke Shaw, 6 yards out on the half volley, controls it brilliantly with his left foot. The ball sails over Di Lorenzo's head, and it's laces from Shaw. In off the near post, no chance for Donnarumma. What a start from England.
What a time to score your first goal for England, Luke Shaw. It's his birthday tomorrow. He's 26. What a controlled finish. You said it, Chris Sutton. He didn't rush at it. He just measured it and hit it on the bounce. It kissed the post and flew past Donnarumma. So England lead by 1-0. Ball over the top for Sterling through the middle, but that's won by Chiellini. And England in front. England against the Italians. The Italians on this 33-match unbeaten run. And they've not conceded more than 1 goal in any of their last 36 matches. But they've already conceded in this one. Harry Maguire, after that nervy-oly moment, heads the ball down. Declan Rice, now Mount is impeded. And that's a free kick which is given by referee Bjorn Kuipers. That was his clubmate, Jorginho. He won the free kick from.
Yeah, what a start, what a noise echoing around Wembley Stadium. Mason Mount has actually started on the left-hand side. We thought he was going to start off the right, and Sterling on the left for England. Maybe Harry Maguire had a plan, John, when he kicked it out for a corner for Italy early on.
Do you think so? Lull them into a false sense of security. Well, Maguire strikes this free kick now down the left-hand side. That's where Harry Kane is. He's up against the Italian right-back, Di Lorenzo. Oh, and then in comes the challenge from Mason Mount, which sent Jorginho spiralling to the ground, and he won a free kick.
Absolutely. And, interesting, isn't it? We talked about team selection. Trippier coming in for Saka. Has Gareth gambled? Again, it was Trippier with the cross, wasn't it? For Luke Shaw, wing back to wing back, and England ahead.
Well, if you're on your way home and you've just switched on, you've missed the opening goal of the final, and then Calvin Phillips is picked up for a foul in the centre circle. The referee is going to have a firm word with Calvin Phillips, but no more than that. That was Barella again on the wrong end of that challenge. So 1-0 to England. 5 Live and BBC Sounds. The World Service are with us, and so are many of the BBC local radio stations around England. So welcome to you all. From Wembley Stadium under grey skies, the smoke of the Red Arrows has disappeared, and Italy are on the attack down the right-hand side with Chiesa, but England clear it away. Huge cheer. Again, around 65,000 inside Wembley Stadium for the final. And Mason Mount heading it forward. Declan Rice then wins a header, but Chiesa's got it back, and Chiesa up to the edge of the penalty area. Shaw comes in with a challenge, takes him down. It's a free kick to Italy. That was quite a heavy challenge by Shaw on Chiesa, who's still sitting on his backside, but it's just a free kick.
Yeah, Shaw commits. Chiesa does really well, diminutive player. Good dribbler off the right-hand side, starting off the right-hand side for Italy. But this is within range. 25 yards out, right-hand side of the box. Little Insigne over the ball.
Insigne is over the ball, and so is Emerson as well. Emerson is actually striding it out as if he's going to hit it. Jordan Pickford is standing on his left post, so the angle is from the right. There's an England wall of 4. There's a man sitting behind it. It's Insigne who curls it over the wall, but over the bar as well. And England survived that first scary moment and continue to lead by 1-0. The early goal from Luke Shaw, of all people, to score the goal in the final. Down pitch side again, to Karen Carney.
Well, it has to start, England to start like the Red Arrows, and wow, what a start that was. If you go and watch the goal, you should see Kyle Walker and Trippier. As soon as Kane gets it, they're on their bike, they're going, and fantastic classic, as you said, wing back to wing back. But now I see the attitude of the England players. Calm down. Gareth Southgate, the back five, relax. Let's calm it down now.
I must say, I'm already thinking back to Moscow and the semi-final against Croatia in the World Cup, when England took an early lead and there was euphoria there, and then things slowly really went downhill.
Come on, John, that's
just a word of caution. Just a word of caution, Chris, that's all. And Gareth Southgate, you'll be delighted, Chris. He's got his Mac back tonight.
Yeah, he has.
On this rainy North London evening. Here's the goal scorer, the new hero, Luke Shaw. Totally out of the picture before Christmas in terms of an England comeback. And now here he is starting the final. Shawberto Carlos himself scoring the goal for England.
Yeah, I wonder what Jose made of that.
Yes, Sterling. Sterling is bundled over just near the centre circle.
Chiellini's getting him up with a headlock.
Yes, he's... Lovely touch. Lovely that. He was very hands-on, Chiellini, on Sterling as he tried to lift him up. So it is 1-0 to England. Here's Luke Shaw, who plays the ball into the body of Di Lorenzo. And it's a throw into England down the left that Shaw is going to take. You can smell, it smells like cordite in the air. I don't know if smoke bombs were let off when England scored, but the noise was absolutely incredible when that goal went in. I mean, the people inside the stadium were pumped up enough because of the opening ceremony, the red arrows, of course, seeing England come out, the anthem, and then that finish from Luke Shaw. Here is Shaw to Kane. Kane now moving inside. 4 goals in the tournament. It's Walker who slips the ball through to Trippier. Trippier's ball across. It's just blocked on the edge of the 6-yard box, and Italy are able to clear it away. Oh, and then Walker rather dived in there, and that is a free kick. It's actually the second challenge that came in from Trippier, but Walker, I think, with the initial foul, and referee Kuipers is just going to have a word there as well. Italy free kick.
Yeah, what a pass from Kyle Walker, often criticised for his distribution. The ball played inside Insigne to Trippier, who was on the overlap there, who fizzed in across, and Chiellini, experienced centre-half, right place at the right time, made the clearance.
Italy 0, England 1. BBC Radio 5 live from Wembley, and Italy on the move. The ball played into the penalty area, but it's beyond the run of Immobile, and Pickford is able to come forward and collect. The official timing of the goal, 1 minute and 57 seconds. And the FA president, Prince William, the Duke of Cambridge, is up in the royal box on the opposite side of the stadium. And the Duchess of Cambridge is there as well. She's had a busy day presenting the trophy to Novak Djokovic down at Wimbledon earlier. And Prince George is having another late night out as well tonight. They're in there. Tom Cruise is in there as well. Kate Moss is also in the director's box. Fabio Capello, Wayne Rooney, all the stars. Here's Kane on the halfway line. Kane turns and he's just caught there, and it's a free kick. That's given after the challenge came in.
Verratti, wasn't it?
Little Verratti, yeah.
Harry Kane snapping and snarling. Verratti, Kane winning the free kick, and I think Kane just followed through when he was brought down. And a little collision with Barella, who's moving very gingerly. Just watching the goal again from Shaw. It's an incredible finish. Normally players would open the foot out, try a little side foot half volley finish. Luke Shaw laces it. And laces it to brilliant effect.
Maguire takes the free kick and play gets underway again with England 1-0 up in the final. Harry Kane works away and then plays a lovely ball out to the right-hand side. Trippier with the control. The cross though is over the top of Sterling. However, Di Lorenzo at the back post under no particular pressure puts it out for a corner, but that was another opening for England.
And Kane coming deep, a little nutmeg in midfield. I don't know what nutmeg is in Italian. Spreads the ball out wide, and Trippier on foot on his mind. Early cross, Sterling peeled away beyond Chiellini, but the ball a little bit too long. Di Lorenzo takes no chances, puts it behind.
Yep, he didn't get it right this time, Trippier, but he got it right for the goal, and that's what matters. And Trippier has come across to take a right-footed corner from the left. So England lining up the three big men, Maguire and Stones and Kane. Here it is from Trippier to the back post. Donnarumma comes and he has a little juggle but makes a good catch outside his 6-yard box. And then underarms it out, and Italy are on the move. There was a dive in the centre.
Mobley again. He's better than that, John. He's got previous.
I'm not sure he is better than that, Chris. Here's Stones passing the ball forward to Sterling, the local hero. Takes the ball on now, running at the Italian defence. What a start this is to the final. The atmosphere, the vibrancy inside Wembley, under the arch, is quite something to behold. Here's Rice now, giving it to Mason Mount, and then back into the centre of the field to Declan Rice. Calvin Phillips with a touch. Shaw, lovely ball from Shaw into the space for Mount. Mount now takes on the defender as the challenge comes in. It's Barella who is back in there, and it bounces behind, and referee Kuiper says corner England.
Chelsea on Chelsea again. Jorginho on Mason Mount. Lovely first touch from Luke Shaw as the ball was popped out to him on the left-hand touchline. Mount had made the run beyond, but Jorginho got back and made the block. Another corner for England.
Interesting this, Chris, after Donnarumma came for the first one. And Harry Maguire has just got a message for Kieran Trippier. So actually walks across the penalty area and shouts. I'm not sure how he's going to make himself heard. Trippier holds both arms in the air. The run is to the near post. Here's the delivery, which is headed away for Italy towards Shaw, who just pops it back over the top. What a pass that was from Shaw. And now Trippier again. Now Mount. Mount's ball into the box, too close to Donnarumma, who's able to gather the ball in. And the score remains Italy 0, England 1. Luke Shaw, who's just become the first man to score for England in a final since 1966. Indeed, the first man who doesn't play for West Ham to score for England in a major final. So Manchester United are off the mark for England on the goal-scoring stakes in the major tournament final football. The whistles because Italy are in possession. This won't ruffle them, of course. Well, maybe it has ruffled them slightly. Here's Di Lorenzo on the right. I'm not sure anything can ruffle Roberto Mancini. And now Verratti plays it through to the edge of the box. And then as it's taken infield by Emerson, it just runs into Rice, who whacks it away downfield.
Yeah, and that's where Rice has been outstanding in this tournament. Just screening England backline. There he is again, breaking the play up.
Rice though runs the ball out of play after doing exactly what Chris Sutton described. So 15 minutes on the clock, Italy 0, England 1. And if ever there was a start that you wanted, England got it, Chris.
Absolutely, the perfect start, the start that Gareth Southgate and England players would have dreamed of. And now it's about seeing it through.
Little Verratti of Paris Saint-Germain gets the ball back centrally and then flips it out towards the left-hand side. Verratti gets it back, but he's under pressure from Phillips. So uses the two experienced old stagers at the back, Chiellini and Bonucci, and then the pass over the top into the penalty area. But the offside flag goes up against the run of Emerson. Took it down, and it is a free kick to England. Down to pitch side. What have you spotted, Karen, down there?
Well, I was spotting Mancini's fuming. He's raging because England have tactically outdone Italy, and he's already sent the subs out 5 minutes ago to warm up because they can't control it. If Kane comes to feed, they get sucked in. We switch it out wide. Trippier and Walker swapping, so they're nullifying the attacking side of Italy, but then pushing them the other way. He's thinking, he's raging, he's going back to his bench. He might need to change it, but it is still early though. I'll give him that.
Italy 0, England 1. Pickford finds Shaw. Shaw now takes it on down the left-hand side, goes past Barella, but his pass out towards Mount, who's overhit this time. That's just about the first thing he's done wrong, Luke Shaw, after a brilliant start to the match. And it's a goal kick to Italy.
Brilliant pass, wasn't it, from Jordan Pickford, who I have to say I thought was slightly shaky in the game against Denmark, but that was a lovely range find of that.
Yes, our reporter, who's been at St George's Park throughout the tournament, Emma Saunders, was telling me earlier that training yesterday, England were working on that, the distribution from Jordan Pickford out to the two wing-backs as they are, as we've discovered. Italy with the ball on the left-hand side, coming forward. The Azzurri blue. Stones gets up and heads that away on the edge of the box, ahead of Immobile, and then the ball bounces out to the far side, where Emerson has got to throw in. Takes it back. And Italy move it in from the left-hand side with little Insigne. Emerson playing in the absence of the injured Spinazzola, who I noticed is here this evening, and cheers because Di Lorenzo's pass is misplaced and rolls out of play beyond Chiesa for a throw-in to England. So it's great to see that Spinazzola has been able to come to the match here this evening on his crutches. Such an important part of this run at the tournament.
Yeah, and there's no doubt that Italy will miss him tonight. Missed him in the previous game. Said against Spain, with Emerson at left back, more of a Fiat Panda than a Ferrari. Spinazzola was.
Italy 0, England 1, and Italy now bringing the ball forward from the back. Bonucci's given it away under pressure. Rice closed him down and he's given it to Sterling. And now Declan Rice works it to Mount. As Chris Sutton says, Mount playing mainly on the left-hand side in the early stages. Ball played forward and it comes off Di Lorenzo and bounces out of play for a throw to England. Yeah, quite a fluid system that England are playing, and there's quite an onus, isn't there, on the front two Sterling and Kane. Kane's just dropping deep at the moment and Sterling's taking up the position through the middle. Here is John Stones, one of England's men of the tournament. Sterling drops deep for this one, then goes on a little run. The challenge comes in on him from Jorginho, and England go back into the back line again. Here's Walker on the right, Walker and Trippier. England 3-4-3. Gareth Southgate making a change with the system for this match. And then a free kick is given for the foul on Harry Kane near the halfway line over on the right, and England have a free kick there after just a little challenge from Chiellini. I'm not sure there was an awful lot in that.
I think there was enough. Harry Kane surrounded by three Italian defenders. Chiellini eventually making the contact. Kane coming short, dropping deep, giving Bonucci and Chiellini plenty to think about. They don't want to go in there with him.
Free kick. Trippier drills it high to the left-hand side to Shaw, who takes it down, crosses it. He's looking for the run of Trippier down into the Italian fullback position. It's played back to the dead ball line, and Italy are able to clear it with Trippier arriving at high pace there and actually clattering into the Italian defender, who put it out of play. Emerson for a throw into England. I think it is the case now. I would like to think certainly that the stadium is up to the capacity for this final. And looking around the three tiers, red and white in every direction, apart from the end to our left, the lower tier, and that is where all of the Azzurri blue of the Italian supporters, 7,000 or 8,000 of them, and the Italian tricolore as well. Pickford clearing it long downfield, but Emerson's going to allow that to drift over his head and out of play. And an Italian player has gone down injured near the centre circle, and he's feeling it on the right side of his knee. Now this would be a big problem. Not sure whether that must have been in a collision, surely. And the England players are now just going over to the far side to Gareth Southgate and the water bottles, and let's go down pitch side while we have this stoppage in play to Karen Carney.
Look, I've been really impressed with our right-hand side, Walker and Trippier, because if you look at Italy's attack, it's very left-sided. And what you get with Walker and Trippier is they're both natural right-backs or right wing-backs. So if Insigne or Emerson do go forward, they're both comfortable at flip-flopping. So at times you see Trippier drop back and Walker go in and vice versa. But then they've got the pace and the energy to just go forward, like the red arrows, like I keep saying. So we really are nullifying their left-hand side Italy, but pushing them back. And we spoke about this formation. We have to push them back. Don't be concerned about them. It's all about us, and that's what we're doing at the start of the game. It's brilliant. And honestly, Mancini is fuming because tactically we've outdone them so far.
Jorginho is still down on the pitch receiving treatment on what is a showery night here at Wembley Stadium in northwest London. And Roberto Mancini has had to put on a rain jacket. Means that his hair is plastered to his head, and this is a real concern if Jorginho, the key man Italian side, scored the winning penalty in the shootout in the semi-final against Spain. There's going to be a doubt whether he can continue. Now, he is walking off the field. He's walking rather carefully. Roberto Mancini is making signals to the three substitutes, who are warming, four substitutes on the far side. And Jorginho has left the pitch, but he's now sat down over there and is continuing to receive treatment. So Italy playing, just for the time being, with 10 men, Chris Sutton.
Yeah, there'll be no rush to take this goal kick. Just saw on the television pictures, John, Tom Cruise and David Beckham, a little fist bump. England mission impossible, John?
Well, it could be cocktails tonight if things carry on as they are. Italy with the ball down the right-hand side. Chiesa is onto this. Chiesa now low across the penalty area. But John Stones came across and was able to clear it partially away, and then Harry Maguire finished the clearance. Now Declan Rice. And the noise has just continued as Rice finds Kane on the halfway line. Kane just drags it back and plays it back to Luke Shaw. They love that. Kane dragging it away and playing it beyond Chiesa, and England have got it halfway inside their own half.
How sharp does Harry Kane look? Criticism of him at the start of the tournament. He's absolutely flying. Just watching Jorginho, he's not moving well.
Yes, he's returned to the field, Jorginho. He's just a few yards away from Di Lorenzo, who heads it infield. He's headed it straight to Sterling. And Sterling now takes on and beats Jorginho easily. And then Sterling plays it into Bonucci. Ball still on the edge of the penalty area. And then back to Donnarumma, who clears left-footed. And Italy break away. England feel that should have been given as a foul on Kyle Walker. And now Italy come forward, and this could open up. Ball across the box. Maguire in place, and Maguire's able to clear it away on the right foot. Kyle Walker, Calvin Phillips might have got himself in trouble inside the penalty area as well, but no, as the challenge comes in, it's just deflected behind for an England goal kick.
Yeah, they do look a threat, Italy, down that left-hand side. The Italian Messi, Lorenzo Insigne, looks like he can cause England one or two problems, always coming on the inside on that right foot and trying to slide a pass. That time just off with the pass. Stones intercepted.
Italy 0, England 1. BBC Radio 5 Live. There will be a 6:06 tonight. 5 Live phone in with Alistair Bruce Ball, who even now will be looking at the Italian from Nutmeg, I'm sure. Chris Sutton. Terry Butcher's going to join you as well tonight, Chris, which is great news. Terry, who's been involved, well, obviously throughout the course of his England career, but with us as well at BBC Radio Sport with England for many, many years. So it's going to be great to have Terry on the programme tonight as well. I'll let you know when the lines are open for that. But playback underway. England with Rice in the centre circle. Gives it to his left. To Harry Maguire, who just shuffles forward. Now it's Luke Shaw. Goal scorer Luke Shaw. We've never said that at an England international before tonight. Walker. High pass down the right-hand side for Trippier, who's straight into an offside position. The free kick, Italy, and they will just take it and pass it out from the back.
It's a pass once again. Trippier was offside from Kyle Walker. A raking 40-yard ball.
Whistles because Italy are in possession. Ball's played through the middle, but straight to Maguire. Maguire is able to turn away from Immobile and play the ball through the middle, but Italy have got it back in the central third. Here is Jorginho again. Ball forward to the left-hand side to Emerson. Now back centrally. Chiellini takes it up on the halfway line. The Italian captain, Bonucci, to his left. 70 years of age between the two central defenders. Now 221 caps for those two. Still the whistles because Italy are in possession. Verratti is able to work it forward. Honestly, this is absolutely deafening. Verratti now again through the middle. A shot from Insigne from, well, over 25 yards out, and it just flies away low, harmlessly wide of Pickford's right post. Goal kick England.
Yeah, good little for Italy. Insigne off that left-hand side, coming into a central area on the half-turn, fires a shot 30 yards out. Scored a stunning goal against Belgium. If it's going to happen, for Italy, it looks like Insigne is going to be the spark.
Kane tries to turn, but he's 10 yards inside his own half as the challenge comes in. But England were alert. The right-sided central defender, as he is tonight, Kyle Walker, was able to step forward. Now it's with Shaw on the left-hand side. Shaw to stretch. Di Lorenzo put under pressure. And in comes Rice. Inside their own half, but Stones steps in so easily and gives it to Harry Kane, who has a look over his shoulder. Kane now to the edge of the box and then turns. He's got white shirts either side of him, but he goes back to Rice. But now Italy are back in position. Shaw back to Rice. Sterling on the edge of the box. Calvin Phillips comes across and gets the touch. Calvin Phillips. Italy. And now Luke Shaw. From Mount, but Mount's pass was straight at Jorginho, and Italy have possession back again in front of their own penalty area. 1-0 England.
Yeah, England making a few passes, and then the ball popped out wide to Mason Mount, who's trying to play first time into Harry Kane, just not quite on the same wavelength. Harry Kane is causing the Italian defence all sorts of problems. Bonucci and Chiellini, they just don't want to go in with him, and he comes short.
Italy with it on the halfway line now. England then drop back into position. It's Nicola Barella, having just won the league with Inter under Antonio Conte. Roberto Mancini over there, an Inter man as well, won league titles as the coach of Inter before he came to Manchester City for his great spell there. Shaw heads the ball away on the edge of the penalty area, and then Mason Mount is fouled and applauds referee Kuipers. Challenge from Di Lorenzo. It does seem that England have targeted Di Lorenzo down this left-hand side, and he's conceded a free kick.
Yeah, had a couple of poor games against Spain, against Belgium. Got the run around. I just think Italy are getting impatient in an attacking sense. A long cross-field ball there from Chiellini, trying to find Chiesa on that right-hand side, but easily cut out by Luke Shaw. England out of possession, saying we're happy to go into a back five. But the two holding midfield players in front of us, they're protecting. England looking very, very solid.
Wembley absolutely raucous tonight. Maguire playing the ball back to Shaw, and Shaw keeps it in. The ball's driven forward, but Maguire comes forward and hoists the ball into the centre circle. This England defence just conceded one goal at this tournament so far, that Damsgaard free kick. Coming into this match tonight, Italy had been behind in a match for only 10 minutes in their last 24 matches. But we're now in the 31st minute, and they've been behind since the second. Jordan Pickford in the England goal, without wishing to tempt fate, hasn't had a save to make yet. Italy into Jorginho, the Chelsea man, the Champions League winner, receiving it from his club mate Emerson. Jorginho wants it again, seems to have shrugged off. Now Insigne carrying it forward towards the edge of the penalty area, but Declan Rice steps in on the edge of the box. It's lost though. Italy have got it back inside the penalty area. Now it comes back centrally, but between two of the Italian players. And now Jorginho collecting the ball, gives it to Di Lorenzo. Now here's Chiesa out on the right-hand side, just down in front of us. Chiesa, three England players around him. And back it goes to Barella again, who turns in field. Little touch from Verratti. Now the captain, Chiellini's out there, 10 yards inside England territory. This is a long spell of possession from the Italians. Verratti, still England just hold the line. Phillips closes down Verratti, comes back again. Insigne puts his foot on the ball and looks for Chiellini. He's almost joined the attack now. Giorgio Chiellini, Insigne, bearded little figure. Now to the left-hand side. Emerson is there, takes a touch, uses Insigne. Now Verratti, but it breaks down near the corner of the box, and I think Emerson might have fouled Rice there. No, the crowd thinks so, but referee Kuipers says play on. 32 minutes played at Wembley, 1-0 to England. But a long period of Italian possession. Is it going to come to anything? Yeah, it is on the edge of the box. The ball played forward down the left-hand side. Emerson tries to reach it on the slide. And the referee and the assistant say he didn't get there before he pulled it across. And it is a goal kick to England.
Emerson and Trippier having words, but really good spell of possession from Italy, but they didn't go anywhere with it. So very pretty in possession, but they're lacking that punch.
What an occasion this is. England, who were involved in the very first international match back in 1872, but in the World Cup, which was first staged in 1930, and in the European Championship, established in 1960, there has been precisely one final that England have appeared in until tonight. And that early goal from Shaw, as Kane heads it on to Sterling. Now Mount tries to work it back to Sterling, but the Italians were there in numbers. But again, that movement causing problems for the Italian defence as Kieran Trippier bundles into to Emerson, but that is not given us a free kick. I think the ball was already off the field.
There's one long ball. Harry Kane beating Chiellini in the air, straight flick. Sterling onto it, releasing Mount right-hand side of the box, and Mount trying the reverse pass to Sterling, not coming off.
Italy 0, England 1. Just over 10 minutes to go to half-time on this damp night for the final of what has been a richly entertaining tournament. Great memories that have been provided for the England supporters with this run under Gareth Southgate. Italy with the ball inside their own half. The ball is hit high across the field, taken down by Di Lorenzo. Now Barella, Chiesa on the right wing, but Rice comes in with a challenge. Rice in again on Chiesa, but Chiesa's got away from him, and Chiesa now takes it up to the edge of the area and shoots left-footed, but narrowly wide of the foot of the post. Goal kick, but Chiesa one up on Rice there.
Oh, absolutely crafty. Chiesa gets away from Shaw, and then Declan Rice. Rice gets back, and he hustle and bustle goes through him, and he must be 22 yards out. Shifts the ball left-footed. Oh, it's probably a yard wide of Jordan Pickford's near post.
Down the pitch side, Karen.
Honestly, as soon as he took that strike, I thought it was in. Pickford was rooted, so we were thankful that it just went wide. But starting to get a little bit anxious now, the England team. Pickford saying, look, we need to play in their half. We need to keep the ball a little bit more, but out of our half, because the pressure is coming onto us, and I'm sensing it as well.
Ball from Karen Carney and Micah Richards at half-time from here at Wembley Stadium. 10 minutes to go to the break. Italy 0, England 1. Maguire hits the ball long to Luke Shaw. What a pass that was from Maguire. Shaw took it into his stride. Challenge from Barella. He's got away from it. Shaw now plays it across to the back post, but the falling Emerson is able to clear it away. Back out to the side from which it came, and it's a throw into England.
Yeah, that united connection. Long ball on the left-hand side. Luke Shaw on the run. Gets a cross in, brilliant cross in, across the 6-yard line. That's a last-ditch clearance. I think it was Emerson who got it away.
Shaw takes the throw for England. Mount tried to give it him back. It was under pressure from Di Lorenzo, and falling puts the ball out of play. If you've just joined us, the England team tonight, just one change from the semi-final. Kieran Trippier coming in for Bukayo Saka, who's among the substitutes. Phil Foden sadly not able to be involved at all because of the foot injury in training the other day. Ball inside the Italian penalty area. The big goalkeeper who's on his way to Paris Saint-Germain, Donnarumma, just putting his foot on it. The ball's played back to Bonucci and then to Donnarumma again. Very patient from Italy. Bonucci into the centre circle. The flick from Immobile. It goes all wrong. Rice now to Kane. Kane, 25 yards out. Italians all round him. The England captain then gives it back to the halfway line to Harry Maguire. Then back to Kane again. I'm not sure he was necessarily expecting that. Then the challenge came in on him from Barella, and the ball's out of play. But what's given us an Italian throw?
Should have been an England throw in that. But that's the difference in the two centre forwards. Kane is holding the ball in. linking up with his English teammates. The ball going into him. Mobley is bouncing off him.
The whole thing tonight, Chris, has been frantic, hasn't it? The action's been frantic, the atmosphere. Is the latest piece of action. Declan Rice coming in for the challenge, but it was overrun by Emerson, who slid into the challenge after losing control of the ball, and that is given as an England free kick halfway inside their own half.
Yeah, no great drama with that. You're spot on, John. Emerson overran the ball, tried to retrieve it. I actually think he got a toe on the ball and catches Rice in the follow-through. And the England players, learning from the Italians in previous games, surrounding the referee, the dark arts, John.
There was a lot of talk about that yesterday, Chris, and I think you can guess the answer. There was, no, of course not. No, everything's above board. Harry Kane goes down under another challenge from Jorginho. That's not given as a free kick. Italy break forward. The offside flag's up against Immobile this time. Not great body language from some of the Italian players, incidentally, as Immobile was caught offside. But it's a free kick to England in front of their own penalty area.
Yeah, Insigne once again. Gets away from a couple of England midfielders, and Immobile is just not happening for him this evening.
Noise continues to ring around Wembley Stadium. In actual fact, in terms of goal-scoring opportunities, there've been very, very few. But the whole feel of the match is quite harum-scarum, I think.
Well, England haven't been here for 55 years, John.
That's a very good point, Chris.
The good thing is so far the English players have looked controlled and composed. I think it's the fans who aren't.
Well, it's been a long Sunday. And here's Di Lorenzo playing it forward to Jorginho. Through the middle. It's taken on by Barella. Barella looking to Emerson down the left-hand side, who has pushed forward, I must say, whenever he can, using Insigne. Insigne back to Emerson now, works it back, passes it straight to Calvin Phillips, who turns, and then the ball towards the halfway line. Harry Kane goes down under the challenge from Bonucci. Referee Kuipers says, play on. I'm not having that as a free kick for Harry Kane.
Absolutely. 1v1, Bonucci just reading the flight of the ball better. Kane going down, claiming for the free kick, but nothing in that.
So Italy have it again as we approach half-time. We're into the last 5 minutes of the first half. No question what the big moment of that first half was, and it came early after 1 minute 57 seconds from the left boot of Luke Shaw. Italy, though, blue-shirted, shirts damp and dark with perspiration and rain. And then Barella is fouled by Mount, and Italy have a free kick out here towards the right-hand side. Certainly a set-piece situation, whether it will be a delivery into the England penalty area. England have to organise themselves. Insigne comes across. Verratti is there as well. Verratti says to Insigne, no, you just move away. I'm going to have this one. Verratti created 12 chances already at Euro 2020. Verratti holds his right arm in the air, and here is the delivery, and it is headed away up and well by Stones. Bounces down on the edge of the penalty area though. Jorginho gives it out to the left. Plenty of Italians still in the England box. Now Insigne, ball hasn't been delivered in yet. Still Italy have it on the left-hand side. Emerson, Trippier comes across. Now out there on the left-hand side, Chiesa gives it back to Insigne. Jorginho back to Verratti.
Chiellini and Bonucci have stayed up.
They have, and Chiellini's making a run now into the penalty area. Rice has a look over his shoulder at him, but Italy still don't deliver. Now the ball again to the left-hand side. Emerson with a cross, but it was blocked away by Trippier, and it bounces into the canvases on the front rows on the far side. Out of play for a throw to Italy. We're in the 43rd minute now. England leading by 1-0. 5 Live, BBC 5 Live, and the World Service. Listen as well via BBC Sounds if you're taking your dog for a walk in the rain on this night of nights. Oh, the throw's been taken by Emerson, and Insigne twisting and turning. They went straight through him to behind for a goal kick.
That was awful from Insigne, and he's berating Emerson for a bad throw. Terrible control, and Roberto Mancini in the rain. He's got thinking to do because his side just having trouble. Jordan Pickford. That one effort from Chiesa, but that was wide of the mark.
It was. But England have played this on the front foot. But Rice in with a challenge. Immobile, keep Barella threw himself to the ground. Forward for England though, Mount through the middle. I think he might have been caught late there. Ball in from the right-hand side. Then Sterling goes down on the edge of the box. They're going down like 9 pins. Donnarumma underarms it out. I saw Rice try to pick up Barella. Now Donnarumma is picking up Sterling. It's all terribly as Italy bring it forward, but Rice is able to take the ball away. Rice, lovely change of feet. Took Chiesa out of the game. Now he's away from Barella, and Rice, couldn't find the pass through to Sterling, but I think he was caught. Well, referee says no, and in a rather exaggerated fashion, Bjorn Kuipers, the referee, wafts his hand to Declan Rice as if to say, get up. No free kick.
Yeah, I think Declan Rice was trying to buy that free kick. He's got a yard of pace, hasn't he, Declan Rice? He just keeps driving with the ball, driving the space to really good effect.
Here's a pass for Italy, for Insigne. Walker, tight on him. Trippier's there as well. It's in the full-back position. Insigne still going towards the dead ball line, then works it back. Phillips is out there as well. Italy, though, this could come to something. Emerson into the area on his left foot, but then Stones stepped in and was able to just get his right foot to it to clear it. 1-0 to England, half-time approaching. We're in the 45th minute of this Euro 2020 final. England have led since the 2nd minute. Here's Verratti. England have dropped everyone behind the ball. We'll have more from Karen Carney and Micah Richards with Mark Chapman here at Wembley at half-time. But Italy continuing to come forward. Barella infield towards Verratti, and Verratti pass over the top. Insigne did get his foot to it to bring it down. But Trippier was there with him and clears it out of play near the halfway line. 45 minutes almost up. England just a few seconds away from going in the break in the final. 4 minutes of added time. We did have the Jorginho injury, quite a lengthy stoppage. So 4 minutes of added time. Gareth Southgate standing over there on the far side with his hands in his pockets, his black Mac buttoned up or zipped up. I think it's a zip, isn't it? England take the throw and the ball bounces out of play. Italy have got a throw. Calvin Phillips just touches Trippier just touches the ball away as Emerson was arriving on the scene to take that throw in. Clever, had a little touch from Trippier. Italy swinging the ball to the right-hand side, looking for Chiesa. But Shaw is there and is able just to calmly head the into the hoardings down in front of us, and the throw-in is taken quickly by Di Lorenzo. Immobile with a shot, that's blocked. Edge of the box, Jorginho, Verratti shoots, but lack power. It just dribbled through to Pickford, who was able to drop down onto his knees.
Yeah, you just feel England need half-time. There's a good ball in from Di Lorenzo. Immobile, half volley, catches it flush. Not an easy chance. It's just behind him, and John Stones, he's had an immaculate first half, hasn't he? The Renaissance man hasn't put a foot wrong yet. He gets the block in.
I think he's had an immaculate tournament, Chris. Here's Rice on the left-hand side for England. We are in the 47th minute. But we'll put that down as a chance, certainly, for Immobile. The shot that was hit into John Stones, who just dropped down onto one knee. Well, it is a Sunday, isn't it? I have seen the Pope is here tonight. The Pope, the Pontiff, the man dressed up in the papal outfit amongst the Italian fans. Kane playing the ball across the Italian half, but Phillips can't reach it. And now it's hit forward, but there's no way that's being reached by Immobile through the middle, and England have got it back. Ball is passed forward, but cut out on the halfway line. However, the ball rebounds to Calvin Phillips as we get a waft of cooler air just over the top of our perspex screens in front of us here. Temperature has dipped. I think that has helped with the tempo of the match. Declan Rice on the halfway line uses Maguire. In the 48th minute now, Shaw slips the ball now to Sterling. Sterling couldn't find Kane on the edge of the box in the D, and Italy will break downfield. Immobile wants the early pass. Barella, in fact, has gone to Insigne on the left-hand side. Now it's been taken up centrally by Chiesa, but Phillips is in with a challenge there. Excellent work to block the progress. Barella just kept in play down the left-hand side by Emerson. Back it goes to the centre circle to Jorginho. We're in the last minute of added time at the end of the first half. Hoping there's a first period. Di Lorenzo. Now Bonucci is going to have a goal from distance, but that sails away from 30 yards or more. And there are accusing glances from a number of the Italian players towards the veteran Bonucci for having a goal from there.
Well, I've seen him strike them in the past, but this is optimism in the extreme. And Roberto Mancini off the bench. The decision-making there from Bonucci, he should know better, but I think England have defended deep and have frustrated the Italians.
Over there on the Italian bench, I'm now seeing those beautiful pale blue blazers being unveiled again as the coaching staff peel off their raincoats and gather at the mouth of the tunnel. Still we play on at the end of this first half. Chiellini's down on the halfway line. Long ball played forward, but referee Kuipers says that's your lot. And I mean, the referee, Bjorn Kuipers, all in pink. He's been a central figure because this has been a tough match to referee. He's needed all of his experience. And Chiellini is getting to his feet and having a little word there with the referee. But England lead at half-time in the final thanks to that fabulous early goal from Luke Shaw. Chris Sutton.
Yep, not a sure thing yet for England. Still work to do, but I think they've been very good in this first half. They've done an Italian job, you could say, defensively on the Italian team. Jordan Pickford, very little to do. England go in 1-0 ahead, 45 minutes left.
Not a sure thing. Are you sure about that? Down to Karen.
I'm just watching. There's been some altercation, I think. Italian goals. Bit of a hot, frustrated, but that sums up their first half. Italy, England have been sensational. But in particular, our right-hand side, Trippier and Walker, because everything comes down their left-hand side. Trippier and Walker's got to be on it at all times. As long as they nullify Insigne and Emerson on that side, I'm telling you, we'll win the game.
Half-time, it's Italy 0, England 1. Mark.
The Euro 2020 final, live with Mike Williams.
Welcome back to Trafalgar Square at half-time in the Euro 2020 final. It is advantage England. It has been tense, it's been nervous, it has been end-to-end, but it is the home side who are now 45 minutes from winning their first major tournament since 1966. Let's get a quick reflection with our football reporter John Bennett, who was watching that first half as well. John, Gareth Southgate, the England manager, couldn't have dreamt of a better start. 1 minute, 57 seconds on the clock before Luke Shaw converted for England. I mean, if he goes on to score another 20 goals for his country, none of them will be more important than that. I mean, what an incredible lightning start.
Quickest ever goal in a Euros final, Mike, so history. Yeah, great first half from England's perspective. And yet again, Gareth Southgate got his decisions right, went to a back three. People questioned it, but the tactics led to the opening goal. And this is a massive test now for Italy. They haven't been behind in a game since October 2020. That's 14 games. So it's a massive test of character now, particularly for the manager, Roberto Mancini. He hasn't needed a plan B for a long, long time. They're on this 33-match unbeaten run going into this game. Initially, they looked stunned. As it grew, as the game went on, I thought they grew more and more into the game. England seemed happy to sit on this lead. They've only conceded, remember, 1 goal during the whole tournament, but it's a dangerous tactic. England have only had 1 shot, and they've scored. Italy have had 65% possession. I'm not sure if it continues like this, that England will be able to see this out, because Italy, in the likes of Lorenzo Insigne, have very dangerous players. So it's a nerve-wracking, dangerous tactic for England, but Italy need a big response at the start of the second half.
is Italy's 33-match unbeaten run coming to an end on the biggest stage. Half-time at Wembley. Will be back very shortly for second half commentary, back for more half-time reaction with John Bennett very shortly too. We'll also be looking at the Copa America final, which has happened in the last 24 hours as well, seeing joy for Argentina against their rivals Brazil. But first, let's just pause and get the very latest BBC News from Eileen McHugh.
The South African President Cyril Ramaphosa has warned that the country's economy is being damaged by violent protests over the jailing of the former leader, Jacob Zuma. The police say dozens of people have been arrested after lorries were torched, roads blocked and shops looted. On Monday, the Constitutional Court is due to give its ruling on Mr. Zuma's appeal over his 15-month sentence for corruption. Two former Ivory Coast presidents and long-term political rivals, Laurent Gbagbo and Henri Konan Bedie, have announced that they are uniting to oppose the current head of state, Alassane Ouattara. The three men have dominated the country's political as a breakthrough. The Dutch broadcaster RTL has shelved the live edition of its daily flagship show, Boulevard, for the second day in a row in light of an ongoing unspecified threat to its studio in Amsterdam. The show's star crime reporter was shot in the head as he left the building on Tuesday. He's currently fighting for his life in hospital. And the British billionaire Richard Branson has successfully flown to the edge of space in his Virgin Galactic rocket plane. He described the flight as magical and said it marked the dawn of a new space age. That's the BBC News, and now it's back to Sports World and Mike Williams.
Thanks, Eileen.
The Euro 2020 final.
Of St George for England as coats. They're draping them over their heads, but with their team leading at half-time, most of them couldn't care a jot about the weather, because it is England who are 45 minutes away from footballing history, their first major tournament win since 1966. Let's bring back in John Bennett, our football reporter, who watched that first half as well. John, a word on the full-backs, because some people call a back five defensive and perhaps a little negative, but when the full-backs are pushing that far forward, as both Kieran Trippier and Luke Shaw are, then it actually becomes a real attacking strength, doesn't it? And we saw those full-backs link up for that goal inside the first 2 minutes. The Trippier cross, the control from Shaw, and the superb half-volley finish. And it was a call from Gareth Southgate, wasn't it, bringing in Trippier for this match in the one change that England made. And so far, it's those full-backs and that change that are paying dividends.
And another fullback involved too. Do you remember at the start of the tournament that we were all laughing at Gareth Southgate because he picked four right-backs? There were two right-backs involved in that move, because it was a cross from Kieran Trippier, but it was the run from Kyle Walker, who's playing on the right of the back three today, which created the time and the space for Kieran Trippier to deliver that cross. He made an overlapping run. It meant that Emerson followed Kyle Walker, just gave Kieran Trippier that 1 or 2 seconds extra to get that pinpoint cross in, and Luke Shaw was there to score the goal. And to me, obviously, I'm sure they've talked about the back three and tactically set up for it, but to me on the pitch it didn't seem as though the Italian defence, which is so strong with Chiellini and Bonucci, we talked about before the game, being these masters of defending, it didn't seem as though they were ready for these attacking fullbacks, certainly at the start of the game. They were stunned, Italy, and Gareth Southgate got every single decision right so
tough war on. I'm sure Gareth Southgate and England were grateful when the half-time whistle finally came, because Jorginho, Verratti in the middle of the park for Italy was starting to boss it, and as you mentioned, England with just that one shot on target in the first half, albeit they scored from it, but they are going to have to up their game, because with the Italians coming back into it, you wouldn't bet against them getting at least 1, 2, 3 chances in this second half, and then we could be all square and heading into extra time. England are going to need more from players, their attacking players, the likes of their captain Harry Kane, for example.
Yeah, you're spot on, Mike. It can't continue like that. Chris Sutton made a great point. He says England need half-time here, because Italy, despite not really testing Jordan Pickford, they were having most of the ball, most of the territory. They were starting to get some of their rhythm. And if I was, from an England perspective, I'd be concerned about Lorenzo Insigne, and he could be the danger man. Immobile would worry me from an Italian perspective. He just hasn't really, his tournament hasn't really lit up so far. I know he's been getting some stick in the Italian press as well. Chiesa as well could be dangerous. And Barella, Jorginho, Verratti, that midfield, they were starting to control things towards the end of that first half. So it's a very dangerous tactic for England to just sit back, because Italy have dangerous players who can get back into this game. They're certainly not out of it yet. We know those players in that Italian team, they're not going to let this up.
So what is Gareth Southgate saying right now in that half-time team talk in the changing room at Wembley Stadium, John? How is he going to change it? We've seen throughout this tournament the England manager has been quite reticent to make substitutions. He's used them very sparingly in matches, sometimes got to 75, 80 minutes without making a single change. Just looking at the England bench, he has the likes of Rashford on there, he has Sancho, he even has Dominic Calvert-Lewin, the Everton forward. Will he look to make attacking changes, do you think, or will we see the same sort of conservative approach from the England manager for the best part of this second half, do you think?
I can't see any changes in the short term. I agree with you, Mike. He has been quite reticent to make changes, and while it's 1-0, you could argue why would he make changes, but I was watching his body language on the touchline, watching his body language in the technical area. He did not seem happy with the way the game was going towards the end of that first half, so something needs to happen in midfield. I wonder if Jordan Henderson could be someone that we see in the second half to try and take control of that midfield, try to get England on the ball a bit more, because Italy are really dominating possession, and if that goes on, that's going to be very dangerous. But you're right, that the substitutions could make a big difference second half. If you look at Italy's squad, look at England's squad, there's a lot more depth in England's squad with...
On the BBC World Service, back with John at the end of the match for his final reflections and second half commentary, just a few minutes away on this Sports World special. Back here at Trafalgar Square, the fans here in the UEFA fan park are just using the half-time break to get their half-time refreshments, filling up on beer and some food, the rain continuing to pour. I'm sitting here at our broadcast desk with my computer mouse in one hand and an umbrella in the other hand. Such is the glamour of broadcasting in mid-July here in London. We didn't really expect this sort of weather storm, but sadly the heavens have opened here. But England and Italy are about to go back, head-to-head again in the second half very shortly. But the Euro 2020 final isn't the only continental football final taking place this weekend. Last night, Argentina ended their 28-year wait for a major trophy.
That's a good pass. Di Maria could be in. What a chance. And what a finish as well. Argentina lead thanks to a moment of magic from Angel Di Maria. Elation for Argentina. The wait is over. Their first title since 1993. They have done it in the backyard of their arch-enemies.
Yes, a 1-0 win for Argentina against Brazil at the Maracanã secured Argentina their first title since 1993. Angel Di Maria with the goal. Let's head live to Brazil now, speak to our South American football expert, Tim Vickery. Tim, can't underestimate, this is just huge for Argentina, isn't it? And for Lionel Messi, of course, as well, his first silverware with the national team.
Yeah, but remember Di Maria. It was Di Maria who scored the goal when Argentina won the Olympics against Nigeria in Beijing 13 years ago. Di Maria again getting the goal last night. Rookie coach Lionel Scaloni getting the tactical decisions right. Angel Di Maria was introduced into the team. They changed the formation from a 4-3-3 to a 4-4-2 to attack behind the attacking Brazilian left back. It paid off. In London, as in Rio de Janeiro, a rookie coach, very impressive, getting the big calls right.
And a word on Messi, Tim, as we say, his first silverware internationally for the great maestro. Is this the last we've seen of him, though, at the Copa America? Will he bow out on a high?
Well, he's got the World Cup at the end of next year. The next Copa is not until 2024, and he'll be 37 then. That might be a stretch too far. Enjoy him while we can. We've got the World Cup at the end of next year, and both the Euros and the Copa America are whetting our appetite for that.
And a word on the hosts, Brazil. Disappointment for them in the final. Where do they go from here?
They're top of the table in World Cup qualification with 6 wins out of 6. So crisis, what crisis? But they need a little bit more midfield elaboration if they're going to achieve their aim of winning the world title in Qatar. That's where the bar is set for Brazil, not the Copa America, winning the World Cup. They've won it 5 times. They're going to have to do better if it's going to be number 6 at the end of next year.
But not since 2002, so next year will be the 20th anniversary of Brazil last winning the World Cup. I mean, are expectations realistic, Tim, for Brazil briefly next year?
Good point, well made. Every campaign since then has ended when they've met a Western European side in the knockout stages. An extraordinary statistic, but a true one. So Brazil now, as well as Argentina, they are watching the Euros to see who will we have to get past in order to become not just continental champions, but world champions.
Tim Vickery live in Rio de Janeiro. Many thanks for your time on Sports World. Back here in the pouring rain in the Trafalgar Square fan park. We are gearing up for the second half. Fireworks are lighting the sky here. England expects the home fans know that their side is just 45 minutes away from a first major final in 55 years. The teams are back out on the pitch at Wembley. It is England 1, Italy 0 in the Euro 2020 final. Let's head back inside the stadium and rejoin our commentary team of the former Premier League striker Chris Sutton. And first, John Murray.
Gets us underway. And England playing from left to right in the second period, as they like to do. That's where the massed support is. That's where the England band are. That's where the supporters club, the England supporters club, that's where they are in great numbers, just behind Karen Carney, who's down at pitch side. So Italy 0, England 1, and the teams as they were at the start of the match. So Donnarumma in goal for Italy, Di Lorenzo, Bonucci, Chiellini and Emerson at the back. Signa up front, and England with Pickford in goal, 3 central defenders, Walker, Stones and Maguire. Then the 4, Trippier, Phillips, Rice and goalscorer Shaw. Then Mount, Sterling and Kane. England with Harry Maguire, who just plants the ball out of play and actually kicks it into the assistant's flag on the far side, knocks it out of his hand. A throw-in taken by Italy, wearing the Savoy blue of Italy. Shirts, black shorts, blue socks. Cross from the right is blocked out of play. England all in white tonight, red numbers on the back, that little stripe down the side of their shirts. The throw-in is taken and it breaks down. The return pass straight out of play from Di Lorenzo, and it's a throw-in to England in their own left-back position. The camera, that camera on its strings, hovering high above the pitch. The Wembley arch, grey skies beyond it, is just beginning to be lit up in turquoise. And here's Harry Kane now, breaking away. Oh, and the challenge came in and caught him on his right ankle. Barella, and there it is, finally the first yellow card of the match. Bjorn Kuipers couldn't resist that one.
Kane does brilliantly. Ball into him, turns, drives away from Barella. He brings him down. That to be a yellow card for Barella. It's good from Harry Kane, though. That's what he has to do. Hold on to the ball, link the play up. Be interesting to see how England approach the centre half. The second half got a little bit deep towards the end of the first half.
Ball pumped forward and headed out of play. So Shaw will have a throw-in for England, level with the edge of the Italian penalty area. Luke Shaw scored in the second minute. His first goal for England in his 16th appearance. And Shaw now gets away down the left-hand side. Cuts it back, he's on his left foot, finds Sterling in the box. Sterling now bursts through, oh, the challenge comes in. Sterling goes down. Sterling's pleading for the penalty. It was Bonucci in with a challenge, but referee Kuiper's on the edge of the box, threw both arms into the air and said no.
Well, no doubt they'll be checking it.
What do you think?
Well, the referee with his arm in the air. Sterling, got to say, has previous. I think England were fortunate to get the penalty against Denmark in the semi-final. Maybe as the boy who cried wolf looked like to be there to be contact, but just how much did he need to go down, Raheem Sterling?
Ball hit forward. Trippier stretches for it on the edge of the box. Pickford comes and just puts his left foot through it and hits it almost directly at us.
He's still having words with the referee, Raheem Sterling. Here we are. Well, an angle on it.
On our screen, it's not saying that VAR are looking at it. Chris, we're looking at it now. It's got Bonucci's coming in on one side of him. What do you think?
I think he overran the ball. Donnarumma was there.
So it's Italy with it on the right-hand side. And at no stage did I see on the screen that there was a VAR check, so Johan Kuipers was adamant that was the decision. It remains Italy 0, England 1. Italy playing from right to left towards their own supporters, who are all in mainly in the blue. The white and green are dotted around the thousands of Italian fans. And Italy with it on the halfway line. Ball played forward by Jorginho. Now it's near the edge of the box. Insigne turns in the D. Sterling comes in with a challenge. Insigne goes down in the D, and that is a free kick to Italy on the edge of the D of the England penalty area.
And Insigne, there is contact from Sterling. Insigne gets his body in. He knows the foul's coming as well. Knows what he's doing. Such a clever player, Insigne. But this is a real opportunity. Clumsy from Sterling. Centrally, isn't it, the free kick? What, 22 yards out? Just about the perfect distance.
Right decision, though. It was a foul. So Emerson's actually standing again. Set-piece man to the right of the ball. But Insigne as well. And again, as happened in the first half, Emerson does two big strides, but I think it's more likely to be Insigne, isn't it? Here comes Emerson, no stops. It is Insigne, curls it over the wall and just over the top right corner.
Yeah, Insigne. Once again, Emerson feints to shoot. That's a poor free kick in the end. Three strides, tries to go Jordan Pickford side. Pickford on that side of the goal, and the ball goes a couple of yards wide. Really disappointing effort from Lorenzo Insigne.
Bounces back onto him as Emerson comes in with a challenge, and it's a throw into Italy. Just taken back into the penalty area to Chiellini, Giorgio Chiellini, 37 next month. Now out to Bonucci, and the whistles. Oh, that's given away by Di Lorenzo, who passed it straight into Sterling, but it bounced out of play off the Manchester City man, and it's a throw into Italy. Just a little further on than level with their edge of their own penalty area. So England lead by 1-0. Italy driving the ball forward. Calvin Phillips put in the challenge. Rice takes it on. Rice then gives it to Harry Kane. England have got Mount and Sterling in the box, but England don't deliver it, and it's taken away by the hunched figure of Chiesa, who's over the halfway line now. Immobile through the middle. Insigne is there as well. Chiesa, a long, high ball right across the penalty area, but leaping high above Insigne, which admittedly isn't difficult to do, is Kyle Walker, who heads it back to Pickford.
He's a flying machine, isn't he? Kyle Walker gets up brilliantly. The crossfield ball and composed, as you like. Italy, a couple of subs stripped and ready to bring on.
Well, you thought, Chris, didn't you, that Italy might have to change it? As Italy win it back, Chiellini challenge, won it back from Sterling. Yeah, double change for Italy coming up. Immobile. Calvin Phillips is all over him though, and Italy are forced to go back towards the halfway line. Man pairing around there as well. Here's Emerson though. Emerson now is able to take it on. He's got Insigne to his left. He uses Insigne. Insigne all right-footed now into the penalty area from the left. Still going, curls it. Oh, hits it wildly wide. It bounced out of play closer to the corner flag than the goal.
Yeah, do you know what though? Insigne, Kieran Trippier showed him the inside. He doesn't want to be doing that. That's into his strength on his right foot. Don't want to give him too many sighters. Tries to find that far corner. Was a wild effort. Trippier has to show him the line.
This is 5 Live and the World Service. We're also going out across many of England's BBC local radio stations as well. You can listen on BBC Sounds, Italy 0, England 1, and you can also listen to the 5 Live commentary with the BBC TV pictures if you wish, if you've got an HD television via iPlayer. Lovely shimmy from Rice in the centre circle. Mount now allows Short to take it on, and then the challenge comes in from him. The ball bounces out of play to throw in to England. Italian double change going to happen shortly. Cristante is certainly one of them who's coming on. A piercing whistle from referee Kuipers. And so we will see who's going to come off first. And that is Barella, who is trotting off. So he's on a yellow card. And the Inter man is replaced by Brian Cristante of Roma. It is Immobile who makes way again. Failed to score in the knockout stages of this competition. And he is going to be replaced by Berardi, Domenico Berardi of Sassuolo.
Yeah, that's a really interesting change, that is. Berardi.
Challenge on, this is Bonucci. Bonucci put the challenge in. The referee wants to have a word with him. The challenge on Raheem Sterling. Yeah, yellow card's out. It's Bonucci booked now. Second Italian booking.
There's a throw-in. Short to Sterling. Sterling has a little look behind, sees Bonucci coming, flicks the ball past him, and Bonucci, Italian style, thou shalt not pass. Yellow carded.
Yeah. Free kick then. Free kick for England on the left-hand side. Set-piece opportunity. Haven't been too many of them in the match. Only had 3 corners in the game so far. So England have this set piece that is going to be taken from out there on the left-hand side. Actually, the referee's got a problem at the moment with his communications. So that is being fixed before Luke Shaw sends this in. Shaw standing there, shorts down to his knees, long sleeves on, one foot in front of the other, standing a la David Beckham, the way he used to stand before taking free kicks. He's watching down from the stands on that side of the ground. Shaw takes the free kick towards Maguire, who got up but headed it over the top of the bar. I think he might have been leaning on the defender as well, but it's a goal kick to Italy, and England continue to lead 1-0. So how have they reshuffled this, Chris? Italy, well, Insigne's through the middle.
Yeah, and Insigne through the middle. Chiesa, who started on the right, out to the left-hand side. And Berardi, the left-footer, bit of a fiery character. He's gone to the right-hand side, will come inside, try and get shots off with his left foot.
Here's Chiesa on the left now, though, into the penalty area. Drives a left-footed ball across the box. Insigne's still going, shoots from the angle. It's pushed away by Pickford. 2 defenders went with Insigne there, and Pickford was able to make the save. A kind of clawing save at the near post. I'm not sure, actually, whether it was on target. It might have just been flashing across the 6-yard box, but he pushed it away anyway, the England goalkeeper. Still England 1-0 up. But Italy in possession. Having made the changes, we'll have to see if that's going to revitalise Roberto Mancini's team. Italy with Verratti as they play towards our left. Here's Jorginho. Jorginho looking for Berardi. In fact, it's Di Lorenzo who takes it up. And then, it's a poor touch on the far side. The ball just runs away at Di Lorenzo, and it's gone out of play in the other corner flag for a throw into England.
Yeah, just seeing this chance for Insigne. It's Chiesa who shoots from the left-hand side of the box. It takes a deflection off Trippier. And Insigne, the ball lands at his feet, a couple of quick touches with his right foot, the angle against him, fires a shot that may have just been heading into the far corner, but Pickford with a smart save.
Italy having a good spell here now. England leading through the Luke Shaw goal. This is the Euro 2020 final here in July 2021. Italy with Verratti. Jorginho turns and just touches it back into the centre circle. And so Bonucci finds Chiellini, then to Insigne. England have led since 1 minute and 57 seconds into the final. Well, that's a poor ball from centrally from Jorginho. Italy did well actually to keep it in play, and then eventually it bobbles out of play on the far side for a throw into England, level with the edge of their own penalty area.
Yeah, you can see Roberto Mancini cuts a frustrated figure in that Italian technical area. You can see the idea they're going to try and play through England. Still got the option on the bench of Belotti, who's more of an old-fashioned number 9, someone you can cross the ball into, but with Insigne centre forward, showing his hand, they try and play through the England back line.
England can't get out at the moment. Italy pressing them back into their defensive third, despite the odd Italian error. Italy come forward again. Italy, who have not won the European Championship themselves since 1968, despite all of their great achievements in the World Cup since then. This is their 10th final in either the World Cup or European Championship. As you will know, only England's second. Here's Verratti, low ball to Insigne on the edge of the box, comes back. Jorginho thought about having a go, gives it to Di Lorenzo on the right. Di Lorenzo lifts the ball across the penalty area. It's chested down on the edge of the box, and the referee has spotted, I think, a handball in there by Chiesa, and it's a free kick to England. He gets to his feet. He puts his hands in a sort of praying motion in front of his chest. He looks aghast.
Emerson, in fact, wasn't it? The ball, Emerson takes it on his chest, and then it does hit his left arm. I don't know what he's complaining about. Ball stood up in the wide area. You'd think that Gareth and England would be quite happy with big high crosses coming into the box with Insigne as the central striker and no great height in the wide areas.
You would have thought so, wouldn't you? 1-0 to England. We've got half an hour to go, but only one goal in it. Phillips to Rice. Rice now takes it on through the middle, still going, but the pass through to Sterling was overhit, and it just runs away through for Donnarumma to move to his right and pick it up. That ball looks like a little marble in Donnarumma's hands as it's played back to the edge of the box, and Di Lorenzo the right-hand side to the newly arrived Cristante, who finds Rice arriving, putting in the challenge to put it out of play. He has covered some ground in this match, Declan Rice.
He's covered some ground in that whole tournament. He's been outstanding for England.
He's started more matches than anyone else in this epic season for England. Well, every international team, but particularly these two. This is England's 20th match of the season. Italy down the right-hand side. The ball flicked forward, but Pickford is coming. And Pickford dummies as if to clear it, and takes a touch, and then whacks it away downfield. Bonucci's underneath that. Italy 0, England 1, if you've just joined us. Italy coming forward again. Here's Chiesa, turns meaningfully into the penalty area now. He's on his right foot. This could be trouble. Right foot shot. Pickford gets down and makes the save. Full length this time. Chiesa, the danger man, saved by Pickford.
Yeah, and off the left-hand side, driving in on his favoured right foot, manoeuvred the ball brilliantly. A shift, another shift, and then he fires the ball towards the far corner. It looks like it's creeping in, but Pickford gets down. Great save.
Ball into the England penalty area again, but this one's comfortable for Pickford, who's able to move across and just control it, trap it with his left foot. But certainly Chiesa, he's the man for the big occasion. That's how they know him in Italy. And he's already scored here in 2 of the matches that Italy have played. That struggle against Austria, and of course the goal against Spain on Tuesday night. He was very nearly in there for another one, but Pickford to the rescue.
Brilliant save down to his left, Pickford, but England just inviting, I think, too much pressure in this second half.
However, that will relieve the pressure as the ball is played downfield. Mount running shoulder to shoulder with Di Lorenzo, and he headed it behind, and it's a corner to England.
Good run from Mason Mount to try and stretch that Italian back line, an ageing Italian back line. Just gives England a bit of respite now.
Well, Roberto Mancini has made his 2 changes. England, Gareth Southgate. I don't see Steve Holland over there. The old brains trust for England. Gareth Southgate in the buttoned-up Mac on the edge of the coaching area, just shifting from foot to foot. England then with a corner. 4 men in a group near the penalty spot. Sterling further forward. Here's the delivery. Stones with a header, but it's over the top. However, Donnarumma got his fingertips to that, I'm fairly sure, even though it might have been going over, and it's a second consecutive corner.
Yeah. Ball whipped in from Trippier. Oh, it's off John Stones' shoulder. And Donnarumma gets a big finger to it and tips it over. Stones will be disappointed. He hasn't scored.
Another corner from the left. Trippier with a delivery to the near post this time, and this is Bonucci who's underneath it to head it away to Luke Shaw near the halfway line. But that, I think that's England's first attempt on goal in the second half. But they lead by 1-0. It was tense, I believe, so I've heard the stories over the years. Back in 1966 in the final against the Germans when they equalised right at the end of normal time. And there's just something about this, Chris, which makes me feel that we may yet have drama. What do you think?
Yeah, and no doubt England have had to weather a bit of an Italian storm at the start of this second half. It expected the Italians to show more.
Ball played forward for England, but Donnarumma is there, feet wide apart as the ball bounces up, and he clutches it in front of his face with Mount arriving.
A lot was made of how England saw the game out against Denmark the last couple of minutes. They need to show that composure again here in the second half. It's Italy who are really dominating the ball.
Italy on this 33-match unbeaten run. They don't know what the feeling of defeat is like wearing the Azzurri shirt anymore. Here's Verratti. Verratti, little ball forward. Insigne. Back towards Di Lorenzo. Now Berardi on the right-hand side. Berardi running at Shaw, but Berardi has to check back and give it to the other substitute, Cristante, Brian Cristante. Can't be too many Italians who are christened Brian, you wouldn't have thought. Here's Insigne, now to the right-hand side to Di Lorenzo. Now forward of the centre circle, Jorginho, and the Italians are just knocking the ball around inside the England half. England sitting right off them. Verratti, shaven-headed, right-footed ball, works it to Chiesa on the left-hand side. Even Chiellini's up there. Chiesa plays it into the back post. And the final touch is off an England head in there. And an important one as well from Harry Maguire to take it beyond the far post for a corner.
Yeah, this is crucial from Maguire as the ball shifted from Chiesa onto his favoured right foot, and Cristante's in behind him, and Maguire heads the ball over his own bar to safety.
These are tense moments now. England with a slender 1-0 lead, but Italy with a corner from the right, which is delivered into the near post, glanced across the face of goal. There's an Italian gone down, and the ball is buried in the net. Italy have equalised, and it's Bonucci who was there in the 6-yard box. The veteran central defender forced it over the line. It rattled around in the 6-yard box, and we're back all square in the final. Italy won, England won.
Well, you've got to say, you felt it was coming. The Italian fans behind the goal go wild. Bonucci with the tap in, it's from a set piece. England don't clear the lines. I think Pickford makes a great save somewhere in there. Italy win the first header. Debatable whether Chiellini's asking for a foul from John Stones. Looks like he's going to tap it in. And then I think it's Verratti with a header. Pickford, it's a brilliant save. The ball crashes off the post, and there's Bonucci, a yard out, pops it in. Easiest finish he'll ever have in his career, and he celebrates wildly. Italy, all square.
England concede for the second time in the tournament, and that means it's all square. And we've got a quarter of the match to go. And Bonucci absolutely loved that. His 8th goal for Italy. He leapt up hoardings in front of all of those thousands of Italian fans in the end to our left and celebrated wildly. Let's go down pitch side to Karen Carney.
Oh, look, the whole stadium's rocked. I'm looking at the stand behind me. Everyone is silent. It's like they've seen a ghost. There's no reaction. We need to get behind the guys again. Look, the pressure was coming.
Emerson taking the ball on up towards the edge of the penalty area. Insigne is there as well. 1-1 the score now. Chiesa dips his shoulder, takes the ball out towards the right-hand side. Italy are going for it now, having rocked England back with that equaliser. Still Chiesa on the right, drives it right across the penalty area and out of play for a throw-in in the England right-back area. So, Chris Sutton, what does the England approach need to be? I see that Steve Holland is over there with Gareth Southgate. The double change that Roberto Mancini made, that revitalised Italy.
Absolutely. The substitutions he's made throughout the tournament. Mancini has always had a reaction. His Italian team have deserved the equaliser, you have to say that. And England are rattled, they're shell-shocked, they need to get the composure back. Try and control the ball, keep possession for a period. It's all Italy, though.
Yes, it is. And it was a terrific save by Jordan Pickford in the midst of all that. It might easily have actually been a foul by Stones on Chiellini in the 6-yard box. But Verratti, he didn't know that. Pickford made the save onto the post, but it bounced perfectly for Bonucci just a couple of yards out to fire it into the back of the net. Scruffy goal, but Italy will take that. And it's 1-1. And it feels like the momentum is with Roberto Mancini's side. Italy now down the left-hand side for Emerson. Here is Verratti, but...
Saka, John.
So it's Bukayo Saka, and that is Kieran Trippier who is coming off.
Well, England can't get up the pitch. They need a ball carrier. Maybe Saka is the man to do that.
So Kieran Trippier is replaced by Bukayo Saka. And this 19-year-old Londoner from just down the road in Ealing originally, where he was born, on he comes to take his place in this England lineup in the final here at Wembley Stadium, and see if he can do for England what Mancini's 2 substitutes did for Italy, and try and raise the England tempo. Kane on the halfway line is blocked. The referee's not having that either. The challenge from Jorginho. Harry Kane gets to his feet, having been very much involved in the game in the first half. Kane, Sterling, they can't really get into it in the second because Italy are dominating.
And England change of formation. I think this is many thought that Gareth would start the game with that back 4 now.
Well, this is the team that started against Denmark, with Saka coming on for Trippier. So Gareth Southgate looking to recapture a bit of the spirit and the play that we saw against Denmark when England over the piece with a better team.
Yeah, Insigne is a massive problem for England. Is playing in that central role now, coming deep, turns so sharply, buzzing around, linking the play up. England need to come up with something. Try and just have 5 minutes keeping possession. The Italians with the momentum.
The lines are open for 6:06, by the way. Chris Sutton will be with Alistair Bruce Ball and Terry Butcher. 08085 909 693 to have your say. Harry Kane turns, tries to give the pass to Saka, but Emerson was able to get there first for Italy. And the Italians have it again in front of their own penalty area. Wembley's been good for the Italians and for Mancini. He was an FA Cup winner here with Manchester City, remember. In this tournament, came through against the Austrians, came through in the penalty shootout against Spain, and now they've come from behind against host nation England. Insigne on the left, in comes Walker with a challenge, that bounces out of play. Throw into Italy, 10 yards inside the England half. Difficult period of the match, this, for Gareth Southgate's team. Remember, in the last Euros, France lost as the hosts in the final to Portugal. Verratti takes a throw back to goalscorer Bonucci, and Bonucci's ball over the top. Pickford's after it, it's driven goalwards by the arriving Berardi, and England were fortunate there that his volley took it over the top.
Oh, what a ball, what a run from Berardi. Bonucci, inch perfect, and I think Pickford just does enough. As the ball coming over Berardi's left shoulder on the volley, Pickford out. I think Berardi sees him out the corner of his eye. And it's like a scissor kick motion, goes 3 or 4 yards over the England bar, but England have to watch that.
That would have been a fabulous goal if he had scored. England breathe a sigh of relief, though, that he didn't. And now Gareth Southgate has decided it's time for the experience of the Liverpool captain, Jordan Henderson, and he takes the place of Declan Rice in midfield. Jordan Henderson coming on for England for what is left of this final.
This is just a case, John, simply of fresh legs, fresh impetus.
1-1, Calvin Phillips in on the challenge, but Italy have it back again. We're heading for extra time as things stand. Chiesa playing it through the middle. Now here's Insigne, turns, gives it back on the edge of the box. Pickford is able to step forward as it bounced away from Cristante, and the England goalkeeper was able to snatch it up from the grass.
Once again, Insigne, the Italian Messi. He was called earlier on in this tournament on the half-turn, little ball into Cristante, who makes a driving run forward. And a heavy touch from Cristante, and Pickford gathers.
Italy come again. England can't get out. Insigne turning, giving it to the left-hand side. Chiesa is there, he's got space. Into the penalty, he goes. And then across comes Walker, and he's able to pass it forward towards Bukayo Saka. And the ball bounces up and strikes Bukayo Saka's hand. It's just this feeling at the moment that things are going against England. Every little 50-50 is going Italy's way.
You say that, but England are playing with fear at this moment in time, as Italy, with the confidence, they defensively they're a back four, but when they're on the ball, it's a 3. They pile players forward.
Italy continue to have possession in the middle of the field. The England crowd is trying to do its bit. Chiesa plays it through, but Maguire steps forward and is able to bring it forward, but just clears it out of play on the halfway line.
I mean, Maguire in his own half there just punched the ball into the crowd. The England players ahead of him just aren't showing for the ball. And at the moment, you have to say, John, they're looking like lambs to the slaughter. It's wave after wave of Italian attacks.
This is going badly wrong for England at the moment, even though the score is only 1-1. Chiesa looks as though he's just got out of the bath and walked onto the field. He looks as fresh as a daisy. Italy playing the ball back to Verratti. Verratti, here he is, Chiesa again. Phillips trying to reach him. Insigne as well, he's a little bundle of energy. And then Italy play it back towards the centre circle again. Absolutely no question. Roberto Mancini's team are on top here. Whistles from the supporters, but England just needs something. Jordan Henderson is there trying to bring that energy and trying to bring a bit of his leadership to the affair. But Italy dominating the possession now. Less than 15 minutes to go, and it feels like England are clinging on. Chiellini works the ball to Emerson, then back in field. The question is whether Italy are going to be able to be ruthless enough to finish England off. 1-1 the score.
Well, they're working so hard out of possession, England. The Italians are stretching them, moving them around.
Phillips is able to step in. Harry Kane had his shirt pulled there. Henderson stabs it forward. Chiellini forward from him ahead of Saka. Maguire now, centre field. Maguire goes down. The referee gives the free kick England's way as it was being carried forward by Chiesa. But free kick England.
Here's Uri, they're swarming all over England, high pressure. Jorginho, he's the leader of the press. There was a foul on Maguire. You just wonder, can England, can they counter against this Italian team?
Mason Mount with a touch over there. He's barely been involved, Mason Mount, in the second half. Seen nothing of Sterling either. As Maguire brings it forward, he was fouled again. Another little foul. This one by Jorginho. Free kick to England. Maguire looked to the referee with a sort of resigned look. The free kick is taken short. Calvin Phillips has it. Walker on the halfway line now. Saka receives it just down in front of us on the right-hand side. Saka now in comes Verratti, and he takes his legs, takes the legs of Saka.
Can't get away with that, Verratti.
Well, I think he is going to get away with it. Free kick to England, and that's all.
You think from Gareth Southgate's point of view, get Saka on the ball, 1v1 situations against Emerson, test him out.
Chris, do you have a feeling here that maybe England's best chance in this match might have gone in the first half when they were on top?
You say that this Italian team, they're a great Italian team. If you want to win a tournament like this, you're going to have to weather a storm, and there's been some storm in this second half England have weathered.
It's 1-1. BBC Radio 5 Live. Phillips takes it. Shaw fires it into the penalty area onto the head of Chiellini, who nods it down. And then the ball is played forward, but it bounces off Saka, back to Chiesa. Chiesa again down the left-hand side, still going. Saka's been able to get back, but Chiesa's still going. And then Phillips comes across and is able to get an important touch on the edge of the area. And then Saka again is tripped, this time by Verratti again. And it's a free kick for England, and Chiesa's down in a heap on the edge of the box.
He gets the ball on the touchline on the left-hand side, and Kyle Walker saying, go on then, push it, beat me in a foot race. Chops on the inside. I think Walker gets back. There is a coming together.
Yeah, and he's Bjorn Kuipers has signalled on the medical people, so they're going to come and have a look at him on the trot. And we'll have a little stoppage here, which might be welcome for England. Italy 1, England 1 is the score on this Sunday night, on this cloudy, damp summer's evening here at Wembley Stadium. We've got the Open Championship for you next week. We'll have the preview on Wednesday night. We've got the Olympics from the 23rd of July across the BBC, and it's all over 5 Live. And then we'll have more Premier League commentaries than anyone else next season from Friday the 13th of August. It's only a few weeks away, but the summer of sport continues. But which way is it going to go in the big final here at Wembley tonight? Still, Chiesa is receiving treatment. Let's bring in Karen Carney. Karen, the action's all at the other end in this second half from where you are.
I know, I'm really nervous because it's that end, but look, Steve Holland's come down, and whenever he comes down, he's got this tactical information. He's speaking to Raheem Sterling and Luke Shaw, who are closest on his side, and he's literally signalled to them, get on the ball, you need to be brave, we need to be braver in possession. We cannot hide in this moment because we're taking pressure and pressure and pressure. We need to get on the ball, whether it's dribbling, passing, we need to gain more territory into this half.
Still Chiesa is receiving treatment, so this is a lengthy stoppage. 81 minutes on the clock. Discussions going on down there on the pitch between England players. Raheem Sterling standing in between Jordan Henderson and Kyle Walker.
This would be a big blow for Italy, wouldn't it? Because Chiesa has been such an important player for the Italians, offered a real threat, especially on this left-hand side. Coming in on his right foot. He's not moving well at all.
Well, he's got his right boot off. He's got it in his hand.
Mancini calling. Substitute up.
So there will be a change. Well, that's a severe loss for Italy. Chiesa's been outstanding. And
Bernardeschi.
It's going to be Bernardeschi who's coming on. Federico Bernardeschi of Juventus. So that is it. Chiesa just limping off the field, son of the famous father, Italian international Enrico Chiesa. And yeah, he finally makes his way over the white line, and play resumes before the substitution is made. So England are playing just for the time being, for a few moments at least, against 10 men. Italy won, England won, if you've just switched on. What a night it's been. High emotion, feelings running high, both inside and outside Wembley Stadium tonight. We'll have more on that later as well, the difficulties that there have been outside of the ground this evening. Some really concerning stories about some supporters getting into the ground, others not being able to get in. And Chiesa has come back onto the field, hence the chorus of boos. Mount on the left-hand side for England. Mount plays it back to Shaw. And now Shaw wriggles his way on down the left wing and plays it to Mount, and Mount's now in the box. Across it goes to Saka. It hits Saka and bounces down, and it bounced right into the path of Chiellini, who was onto it like a youngster, like a stripling, and cleared it away. Chiellini, the old man, the captain of the Italian team. England come again, and that's the best we've seen from England, I think, for the whole of the second half, from open play at least. 1-1 the score. So Chiesa is back on. Bernardeschi is still ready on that far side of the ground, just behind Roberto Mancini. England play to the right-hand side to Walker. Kyle Walker wants Saka to come close, which he does, and the Arsenal teenager then stabs it back to Phillips. Phillips was caught by Insigne, and that's a free kick to England. Halfway inside the half, towards the right-hand side. And a yellow card as well to Insigne for that challenge. Just caught Phillips late, Chris.
Yeah, but that's the best spell England have had in the second half, making a few passes. Ball played back from Saka into Phillips, who takes the touch. Insigne goes to ground, he catches him halfway up his shin. Deserved yellow card and an opportunity for England from this free kick.
So Mason Mount is there. Jordan Henderson comes across and he puts an arm around the shoulder of Bukayo Saka and then points towards the penalty area, and then Jordan Henderson trots away and takes up a position on the edge of the box. Not another Henderson goal, surely. That would be too much to ask. So it's a free kick for England. Italy hold the line just outside their own box. Mount with the delivery, right-footed towards the back post, looking for Stones. There was a juddering collision there. Stones keeps his feet. Shaw arrives on the volley, but sends it high and away over the top of the bar into the England fans behind the goal. And it is 1-1, and we have less than 5 minutes to go. And Bernardeschi is coming on now for Chiesa. He's had a goal, and he's clearly decided he's not going to be able to continue. So on will come Federico Bernardeschi to win his 34th cap. The Juventus man came on as a late substitute in the semi-final, if you remember, and took one of the penalties against Spain on Tuesday night. But he's had a very good tournament, Chiesa, Chris Sutton.
He has, and I think this is a big blow for the Italians. But a good second half, Chiesa, integral in much of their forward play, and it'll be interesting how the Italians shape up now and where Bernardeschi fits into this Italian team. Looks like he's gone to play centre forward. Insigne out to the left. Bernardeschi at his best off the right-hand side, coming in on his left foot.
Italy with the ball on the edge of their own penalty area. Extra time is not far away. Just over 4 minutes of the 90 to play. 1-1. But Italy have busted in the second half. Verratti puts his foot on the ball, plays it back to Chiellini behind him. Darkness now at Wembley. All of the floodlights in full effect as the ball is played through for Italy, but Bernardeschi can't reach that. And it runs away through to Pickford, who's able to pick it up. So once the final is over, we'll bring you the presentation, we'll bring you live interviews from pitch side, and then it'll be the 606 phone in to talk about it. But England are just hanging on there in this final. And, we've got two people who've run on the field. And it's actually one person who's pulled his shirt off, and stewards are trying to catch up with him. And he's being chased away. I just hope he doesn't run into any of the players, that's all. This is the last thing we need, and he's eventually run off the field, and he's been caught up by the stewards. So the players have got a moment or two, and in fact he's managed to get away from them again, and he's still running around on the field. And eventually he runs out of steam, and he's going to be taken away. And I wouldn't be at all surprised if he was one of the unpleasant individuals who've been able to get into Wembley Stadium without having a ticket. And off he goes.
What a moron.
So that will mean that we'll have some time to be added on at the end of the match.
Well, it's a shame, John, isn't it? You know, second half England have really struggled to get out, and you know, Italy have been in the ascendancy. It's just disrupted the flow of the game.
So it is Italy 1, England 1. We might well have extra time on the way. Pickford gets the ball under control and gives it out to Stones. Flights it forward towards the halfway line, and then it comes off the head of Emerson. It's out of play for an England throw. So if you haven't heard, goodness knows what have you been doing, but England took the lead in the second minute through Luke Shaw. Brilliantly worked goal. And England really had the spirit of Wembley behind them in that opening period, but Italy have more than worked their way back into this. And Bonucci equalised in the second half, but here's Sterling now setting up on a run into the penalty area, still going, blue shirts all around him, takes it to the byline but overruns it, couldn't pull it back. Saka and Kane in the middle, but Sterling, that's the electricity that England have been missing in the second half.
Absolutely, haven't seen this enough. Sterling driving on the inside, positive play, little shift past Bonucci, and it just goes over the byline. But more positive in the last 10 minutes from England.
But Italy have got it again in the 89th minute. I think there'll be at least 4, maybe 5, maybe even 6 minutes of added time at the end of the 90. We're all square. I don't think it's the biggest shock of all time if this final goes to extra time this evening. I know quite a number of the experts were suggesting it could go all the way to penalties. Verratti passing it forward. Phillips there. Excellent little interception from Phillips to take it away from Cristante. He carries it out to the left-hand side. Sterling is there. Sterling comes in field. Goes down. Was he caught? No, says referee Kuipers. No free kick for Sterling. No free kick for England. Now Bernardeschi has it on the halfway line for Italy. It's taken out to the far side. He puts in field. And then Calvin Phillips is there again for England to block it out of play. Referee Kuipers says that's a throw into England, which Bernardeschi can't believe. Runs towards the referee. Gestures here and there.
Yeah, not enough in that. Sterling goes to ground too easily. He's the boy who cries wolf, isn't he? And that's the problem. Gets a reputation for himself for going down too easily, and the referee not buying it.
I think we might need some energy drinks, Chris, in a moment or two for half-time, and what else might follow. But Italy have got it back. A goal now would probably see whoever scores it crowned European champions. And there's another piercing whistle from Kuipers because it's a foul this time on Raheem Sterling. And ironic cheers because Sterling has got a free kick for England, but it's only 7 or 8 yards inside the Italian half. It is 6 minutes of added time. 6 minutes of added time. So set piece, Shaw is standing there with his foot on the ball, not unlike the pose that Bobby Moore strikes. His statue outside Wembley Stadium on that side of the ground. Shaw waiting to take this free kick. Harry Kane, the England captain tonight, furthest forward in the middle. Henderson there as well, the central defenders, of course. Shaw high and in towards Maguire, who gets up, heads it across the Italian box, but that's won against Stones on the edge of the area. And then there's a trip in there on Verratti, and it's a free kick to Italy, and we've already played over a minute of the 6 of added time.
He's been influential, hasn't he, Verratti, in this second half for the Italians, snapping and snarling. Like an Italian Jack Russell, isn't he?
Italy take the free kick and then shuffle it towards the halfway line. And then yap. Here's the little Italian Jack Russell, Verratti. Gets it back from Jorginho. And Italy just holding possession inside their own half. Really tense, anxious moments in this final here at Wembley. And Italy work it down the right-hand side. Cristante swings over the cross, but beyond Insigne. He couldn't reach that. Well, Walker's gone with him. Kyle Walker has managed to dispossess him. That's a nice ball from Henderson, but it was read by Chiellini, who just moved across, glided across. He might be thinning on top, but there's plenty going on inside that head of his. He got there before Saka.
Yeah, I think Saka had a little look, saw him coming out the corner of his eye.
Pickford's long pass. Oh, it's glanced back by Bonucci to Donnarumma. That was cool. That was cool by the other man at the back for Italy.
Yeah, a little thumbs up to Donnarumma there from Bonucci.
Yeah, clash from the two of them within the moment, within a few seconds of one another. Now the ball's being driven forward by Jorginho. Here's Emerson on the left-hand side, still 1-1 in added time. Verratti, Italians playing it up towards Emerson. Chiellini is there, gets there and uses Emerson. Now it's back towards Verratti. And then again, Verratti receives it. Italian players were dominating the possession statistics. There's no question of that. Chiellini again. Chiellini almost on the left wing. Verratti now. Verratti back onto his right foot, plays it square. There's no one's through the middle for Italy at all.
No, they're playing with a false nine, aren't they? Bernardeschi just dropping into those areas, trying to draw Maguire out and Stones out.
We're in the 94th minute. Extra time, just a couple of minutes away. Verratti, Bernardeschi's come short. It's played square towards Jorginho. Cristante is furthest forward, but it is Berardi who then rolls it back into the centre circle. And Italy, surely they will have a dart and try and win it in normal time, you would think. Insigne plays it back, still patient from Verratti. Verratti now, Saka cuts out that pass, Henderson lifts it forward, Kane gets a touch, but there's no one up there for England, and Chiellini can just come back and take up possession for Italy again.
Kane is so deep, England are so deep. You just wonder whether Gareth missed a trick, not making another change, getting a Grealish on, or somebody who can hold on to the ball, keep the ball.
He's made only 2 changes so far, Gareth Southgate. And at the moment, you're struggling to see, apart from perhaps a set piece, how England actually might trouble Italy. Forward it goes. On the right-hand side, Cristante. Now Berardi. This could be dangerous. The ball's lifted in towards the back post. Walker chests it back to Pickford. That was cool. That was cool, all right.
He done that, Kyle Walker.
Long one downfield, but there's no chance Mount will reach that. It bounces through to Donnarumma. We are almost into the very last minute of added time. It's still Italy 1, England 1.
It was hard in mouth stuff, John, wasn't it, Walker?
There is space over there on the far side. In fact, the ball's played through the middle. Calvin Phillips, importantly, went with it and was able to hook it away under pressure on the edge of the box. Kyle Walker, England just hitting it long now. Harry Kane with a challenge, but Bonucci comes across. He wins the header. Bernardeschi through the middle. Bonucci has taken a clattering from Harry Kane in that challenge. Saka then wins it back for England. Jordan Henderson takes it down, volleys it forward for Saka. Chiellini's come across. Oh, he's pulled him over blatantly. Saka went round the outside of Chiellini, and it was almost like, it's like something out of the cartoons, the way that Chiellini got a hold of the scruff of Saka's neck and pulled him back. And it's a free kick for England, a yellow card for Chiellini.
I mean, that's an assault, isn't it, from Chiellini? He's trying to let the ball run out of play. Saka just creeps in behind him, and he's going to get away, and Chiellini knows he's not getting back and hauls him down like a wrestling move.
As I say, it was like the cartoons. The legs were going, the legs were whirring around, but he was holding onto the back of his neck. Italy 1, England 1. Last chance then for a goal in normal time. Fired forward by Phillips, headed away for Italy, and there it is, the final whistle. 1-1. After England led at half-time, that early goal in the second minute from Luke Shaw, and with a better team in the first half, the system worked well, but then Italy have absolutely dominated it in the second half, and England really at times have been at 6s and 7s. Bonucci got the goal from close range after Pickford brilliantly saved Verratti's effort onto a post. but it's 1-1. And the way that the game has gone, heading into extra time, are we saying Italy big favourites, Chris Sutton?
I think so. Wouldn't be surprised if Gareth made changes. England are on the ropes. They need smelling salts. It has been so one-sided the second half. Italy deserve to get back into the game. They've been the dominant force. And going into extra time, you've got to say, I'm worried for England.
So Italy won, England won, and the final goes to extra time.
The Euro 2020 final, live with Mike Williams.
And we are not done yet. Stay exactly where you are. 30 more minutes of the Euro 2020 final coming right up here on the BBC World Service. 1-1 between England and Italy at Wembley Stadium. It is so tight, it is so tense. You will not want to miss this extra time, which is coming up very shortly. First, though, let's just pause and get the latest BBC News from Eileen McHugh.
South Africa's President Cyril Ramaphosa says a wave of unrest in the capital Johannesburg and the province of KwaZulu-Natal risk damaging the economy and is unjustified. Violence and looting broke out after the jailing of former President Jacob Zuma for contempt of court in connection with a corruption trial. The US delegation is due to visit Haiti today to assess the security situation following the assassination of President Jovenel Moïse by mercenaries. President Biden's envoys will also meet the three politicians claiming to be Haiti's legitimate leaders. Hundreds of people in Cuba have joined rare protests against the communist government. Videos posted on social media show people in Havana and other cities calling for freedom and demanding vaccines to tackle the coronavirus pandemic. Afghan officials say they've activated a new air defence system at Kabul's international airport as part of measures to protect it after the withdrawal of US-led troops. The system, donated to Afghanistan, will counter rocket attacks. Early results from a referendum in Slovenia suggest voters have rejected government amendments to the law on water. Access to clean drinking water was made a constitutional right 5 years ago. Environmentalists say the changes would allow developers to build prime real estate on the waterfront. Israel says it will withhold revenues from the Palestinians as a penalty for payment made to Palestinian militants and their families. The British billionaire Richard Branson has successfully flown to the edge of space in his Virgin Galactic rocket plane. He described the flight as magical and said it marked the dawn of a new space age. The 6 people on board experienced zero gravity for just a couple of minutes. And in tennis, Novak Djokovic has won a record equalling 20th Grand Slam final, beating Italy's Matteo Berrettini at Wimbledon. Djokovic lost the first set, but quickly recovered to overpower the first-time finalist Berrettini. That's the BBC News, and now it's back to Sports World and Mike Williams.
Thank you, Eileen. Back here at a very wet fan zone in Trafalgar Square. Nobody is going anywhere. The 1,400 fans here who are lucky enough to get a ticket in the ballot are glued to the giant screens, which are showing replays of that Italian equaliser in the Euro 2020 final that made it Italy 1, England 1 at the end of 90 minutes, which means another 30 minutes awaits us of extra times. Who will be crowned champions of Europe in just 45 minutes time? Who knows? We could go all the way with penalties. Let's briefly bring in our football reporter John Bennett. John, what happens here? England on the back foot.
Yeah, Italy deserve that equaliser. They deserve to, if not win the game, take it to extra time. What a response from them. It had been 18 games since they conceded first in the game. So to recover like that, full credit to them. And as Chris Sutton, our co-commentator, was saying, they're the big favourites now. We need a big response from England if they're going to get anything out of this. Italy the favourites. Perhaps from an England perspective, you'd want Jack Grealish on the pitch. I wonder if Gareth Southgate will bring him on.
There will be drama, that we can guarantee. Stay with us here on the BBC World Service for extra time now, live from Wembley Stadium. England 1, Italy 1 in the final of Euro 2020. Let's head straight back to our commentary team, the former Premier League striker Chris Sutton. And first, John Murray.
And it is little Insigne, isn't it, who's made way. So Insigne is off, and the Napoli captain makes way and is replaced by the Torino captain, Belotti, who's yet to score at the tournament, but has certainly played his part for Italy, having come on now in 5 of the 6 matches. So off we go in extra time in the Euro 2020 final, and immediately Verratti closes down John Stones, and the ball bounces out of play for a throw into England over there on the far side.
I just wonder with the Italian substitution there whether Insigne has an injury of some sort, because he's such a live wire, such a creator for the Italian team. They've gone a different way now, where we'll see Belotti. He'll play up against the English centre-halves. John Stones and Harry Maguire may like that better. I think they struggled with when Insigne was dropping in to little pockets of play. And the same with Bernardeschi. Bernardeschi over to the left-hand side now.
So the Wembley crowd, the attendance, by the way, 67,173 for this European Championship final. England's first final since 1966 got off to a roaring start. Just a few seconds after the Red Arrows roared over the stadium, Luke Shaw with a blinding goal. But Italy, slowly but surely, have taken charge. And here they go in extra. Oh, an England player's gone down and has clattered down to the ground. It's Jordan Henderson. And as the ball was played past him, there was a collision there, and he took a right crack, I think, on the head, and has gone down in the right back position. Yes, as he actually ran into Emerson as he chased Bernardeschi down the left.
Emerson knows what he's doing. The old basketball block, that, John, from Emerson.
And Henderson's got straight up and hasn't needed any treatment or a check at all. And he did seem to take quite a clatter there to me, Chris.
No, he did. He did, but good to see him up and back on his feet.
It is. So Italy won, England won. BBC Radio 5 Live and the World Service. Many of the BBC's local radio stations. Listen as well via BBC Sounds. Late night drama for you from the Euros, the last night of the Euros. And a high foot has made contact with Harry Maguire's face, and Berardi's all full of apologies. That, or was it just a hand? I think it might have been the side of his hand flicked him in the eye, and it's a free kick. He lifted his foot, but I think it was a flailing arm that caught Maguire. Pickford plays the free kick out to Stones on the right-hand side.
They're really getting after England, the Italians, pressing high. I don't know, Micah touched on it, about the need for Gareth to maybe use his bench. They haven't held on to the ball well. I think it's crying out for a Grealish.
Crying out for a Grealish, I would agree with you, Chris. Here's Mount. Mount turns on the halfway line. Shaw receives it from him, but he has 2 Italians immediately closing him down. Wins a throw-in. There's no sign of movement over there on the England benches, but I think Italy are preparing at least one more change. Away over on the far side, next to the mouth of the tunnel, where it says the final written above the tunnel entrance. Oh, England take the throw short at Phillips, who just passed it straight out of play at close quarters, and the two of them exchange words, just had a glance at one another.
Locatelli, who's stripped, and he's had a good tournament and can't get in the Italian starting lineup.
Yep, started the tournament, Locatelli, and now Raheem Sterling has conceded a free kick, and Jorginho had a little go back because Sterling just leaned in and then landed on Jorginho, and Jorginho didn't think much of that. Chelsea-Manchester City, that one. Italy won, England won, and here is Chiellini and Bonucci bringing the ball out from the back. Bonucci, he was the man who came up with the equaliser. That was in the 67th minute. Italy trailed for a long time, well, 65 minutes in the match.
Going on holiday together, John, after the tournament.
Bonucci and Chiellini.
Chiellini, yeah.
Yeah. Where do you think they're going? The Amalfi Coast, maybe? And the ball is played back to Bonucci. Bonucci, a long right-footed ball. Pickford comes and makes a comfortable catch under no particular pressure. So England have got it again. And Locatelli is waiting to come on, the number 5 over there. Another one of the Sassuolo crew in this Italian squad. And Stones forward to Phillips. Phillips to the left-hand side to Shaw. Shaw rolls the ball up towards Mount, who took a heavy touch there. The ball rebounds in field. Henderson, lovely pass from Henderson to Sterling in the box on the left-hand side. But then who arrives on the scene, sliding in to block it behind for a corner? Chiellini, of course.
And look at his celebration. Chiellini sticks out his chest as a heavy touch from Mount. And England get away with it, and the ball, I think it's a ricochet, goes through to Sterling, is driving the left-hand side of the box, and all of a sudden, from nowhere, Chiellini comes across and makes the block.
Yeah, Chiellini was pleased with himself there. And rightly so as well. It's Verratti who's coming off. Locatelli coming on for Verratti. So a straight swap.
I say Chiellini's often pleased with himself.
We didn't incidentally see any of the antics for the coin toss at the start of extra time that we saw with... oh no, that was actually before the penalties, wasn't it? That was before the penalties between Kane and Chiellini. Corner for England, Shaw takes it towards the back post. It's headed out. It's headed out to Phillips. Phillips drives it low across the face of goal through a crowd of players. I think Donnarumma was a little concerned, but it was wide, probably by a couple of yards or more, actually.
Oh, the ball sits up 23, 24 yards out. Phillips off the chest, yeah, it's 4 or 5 yards wide. It's a clean connection, but well wide of Donnarumma's right-hand post.
So now we're into extra time. That means a maximum of 6 substitutions. And for Italy now, that is 5. So Roberto Mancini still has 1 left up his sleeve. I don't know if he needs perhaps to make one for penalties. So we've had 6 minutes of extra time. Italy 1, England 1. And Italy now bringing the ball towards the halfway line. Scooped through the middle. Headed forward. Maguire underneath that. Here's Harry Kane. Had a quiet second half, certainly. Henderson takes it on from him. Oh, but Henderson's pass with the outside of his boot is some distance behind Sterling and just bounces into the hoardings for a throw into Italy.
And England, I have to say, they've just been really ragged.
I think Karen Carney's got some news that England supporters might want to hear, Karen.
Absolutely, Jack Grealish is coming on, but I'll throw it back to you now. They're on the attack, Italy.
Because Di Lorenzo is coming down the right-hand side. Di Lorenzo's ball into the box. Maguire was there to clear it. Belotti was putting him under pressure. Might have fouled him. It's out of play. No, it's only a throw-in. Jorginho has got the ball at the moment. Di Lorenzo is feeling the side of his hip, but he's okay. Yep, Jack Grealish is coming on. He's lifting his feet and working off his tracksuit bottoms. Jack Grealish about to enter the final. And I agree with you, Chris. I think it needs something like that. And the one thing, of course, we know that he can do, well, one of the many things that we know he can do is get the ball downfield, carry the ball downfield. Italy, though, coming forward. And Stones steps in. Belotti hits the shot. It hits the back of Maguire, which took the pace off it, and it bounced across the penalty area, and Pickford sprinting to his right. Got to the ball and actually is told just to calm it down and overarms it out. What a throw that was. Goodness me, I think he's been on his spinach. Jordan Pickford hurled it to the halfway line to Mount. Mount plays it infield, but the referee says, hang on, we're going to have the substitution first, and it's Jack Grealish coming on in the 99th minute. Just waiting to see who's going to be it's Mason Mount who's left the pitch just down here. So on comes the Aston Villa captain into extra time to see if he can make the difference. And if he can, this place will go absolutely mad.
Yeah, we know the England squad got a good luck message off Tom Cruise, and here's the Maverick.
Well, if Tom Cruise is still here, and there's no reason to suggest that he wouldn't be, maybe he'll see a little bit of Jack Grealish in himself, a little twinkle in the eye, perhaps. Maguire plays the ball down the left to Shaw. Grealish makes a run into the box. Shaw with a cross. Oh, Chiellini wins that against Kane. Phillips now on the edge of the box. That looked like a high challenge. Phillips went down. 2 England men down. Phillips and Kane. Shaw with a cross. That took a deflection. Took it out to the edge of the box. Belotti hooked it away, right-footed over his shoulder.
Don't get that one, John. I thought Phillips was fouled, and there was little advantage for England, who pushed out on the left-hand side. It would have been a good shooting position from a free kick.
Well, the crowd, I think, have been revitalised by the arrival of the ever popular Jackie Grealish, who they sing about. Ball comes back to England inside their own half. It's 1-1 if you just joined the drama. Back it goes to Jordan Pickford. You can hear our commentary, by the way, the 5 Live commentary via the iPlayer, synced up with the pictures. The match is on BBC One television as the ball is played forward, and Belotti has come back from an offside position. Has a moan about it to referee Kuipers, but it is a free kick. Bjorn Kuipers just holding his hand high. He's a millionaire, apparently, Bjorn Kuipers. Supermarket millionaire, the referee. Doesn't need to do this. Shaw playing the ball down the left to Grealish. Grealish into the penalty area now. Defenders with him. Grealish holding it up, drags it back. Still the ball at his feet. Still inside the area. A little flick to Saka, but the touch from Saka was heavy, and it bounces away through for a goal kick. But that right there is Jack Grealish giving the Italians something to think about.
Absolutely. In on the left-hand side of the box, takes the ball, dribbles the ball, and the Italian defenders don't want to commit. Little back heel to Saka, didn't quite come off, but that's what Grealish can give this England team, some invention. You see the Italians, a bit of fear there from their defenders.
Yeah. 1-1 remains the score as the ball pumped out on the far side, and it's an England throw. And the referee is just stopping play. And in actual fact, he says, yes, it is an Italian throw. This seems strange. So it's a throw into Italy. Gareth Southgate actually fielded the ball and threw it back for Italy to take this throw. The boys and girls of Ruislip Rangers are back on duty again tonight, as they have been here at Wembley all the way through the tournament, doing a fine job. Great memories for them. What a night for them. It could get better, it could get worse. Maguire sends the ball forward, but under pressure, just overhit that, and it just drifts out of play. Halfway inside the Italy half. So 1-1, first period of extra time, heading towards its conclusion. We have 2 minutes of it, plus added time to go. England have steadied themselves, I would say, in this first period of extra time, Chris.
Yeah, they have done. I just sensed a bit of frustration in the stadium, and Harry Maguire looked up. Wasn't a pass on, nobody showing for the ball, and just hooked the ball out of play. That's twice he's done that now in this game.
Italy played through the middle. Bernardeschi is under this. The ball out to the far side. Walker slides in, gets it. Paul Walker's been beaten in the challenge. Now here's the cross in the middle. Pickford with a save. It's driven goalwards, and it's wide. It was hit goalwards by Berardi in the end, and it was thumped away back downfield by the Italian player who was coming back onto the pitch.
Kyle Walker goes to ground against Emerson, and the ball's whipped in. I tell you what, Pickford does really well. The ball's fist across the 6-yard line. I think Bernardeschi, who gets in front of Pickford, any sort of touch he scores. But Pickford, I think it comes off his thigh, and eventually the ball is fired wide. He did really well though, Pickford.
Just threw himself at it from the low, powerfully hit cross from Emerson on the left-hand side. 2 Italians arriving on it, and Pickford is brave.
He just gambled, didn't he?
Gambled. Brave goalkeeping. Just took a chance, threw himself at it, and got the block on it, the important block to keep it at 1-1. He's done well tonight, Pickford, it has to be said. Again, there were questions about him after the Denmark game. Belotti is claiming that Stones has fouled him off the ball. Referee said, I saw that, to John Stones. But Italy have got it inside their own half. We're in the last minute of the first period of extra time. Italy, long ball over the top towards the edge of the area. Harry Maguire wins that ahead of Locatelli, comes down for Bernardeschi. Locatelli again, edge of the area, shot is hit, blocked back to Locatelli. England can't get it away in the D. They do now through Calvin Phillips, who volleys it into the centre circle. Harry Kane is after this. Kane, Saka tried to hook it forward, and now Kane slides in again. That is given us a free kick. Jorginho on the wrong end of this one. Free kick to Italy, and Harry Kane, rather exasperated. Harry Kane, he's not had a chance in the final, the England captain. Not had a chance to score yet.
No, yet. I think his link-up play was excellent in the first half, but England have just been so deep in the second half. Italy have dominated. It's the same story in extra time.
So 1 minute of added time. Here's the curly-haired Locatelli onto it on the right-hand side. His cross is straight at Maguire, who's able to adjust. And then Grealish is shoved over by Di Lorenzo. Welcome to the game, Jack. I'll concede that free kick halfway inside your half.
He does well, though, Grealish, because he sees Di Lorenzo coming. It's a really daft challenge. Because Grealish, halfway inside his own half, has nowhere to go. Wins the free kick. Pressure off.
Italy 1, England 1. 15 minutes of extra time to go once the whistle goes, which it will do very shortly, but not yet. As Pickford's long pass headed away, Henderson nods it out to the left-hand side. Saka challenging for it. Shaw is there as well. Kane puts in the challenge, the bouncing ball. The referee says that came off an arm, I think, of Locatelli. It was a bouncing ball. It was awkward. Kane and Locatelli together, and it's a free kick to England. Set-piece situation.
Yep, spot on the decision. The referee 4 or 5 yards away, and this is a good position. Maybe 15 yards out from the edge of the box on the left-hand side. Luke Shaw over it. Can he get the delivery spot on?
Big moment this. Chances for England have been few and very far between. Luke Shaw, we need to see that delivery that he produced in Rome against Ukraine. Shaw standing. This is 15 yards in from the left touchline, so it's a good position to deliver from the angle. Shaw lifts it high. 2 Italians end up on the turf, and the ball is headed onto the roof of the net from the far side by Jordan Henderson, but the whistle had long gone for the free kick. Italians all over the turf. The whistle goes, and off they all walk towards the halfway line with the score. Half-time and extra time. Italy 1, England 1.
The Euro 2020 final, live from the BBC.
You cannot take your eyes off this. 15 more minutes to come. Italy 1, England 1 at Wembley Stadium in the final of Euro 2020. Here at the UEFA Fan Park in Trafalgar Square, the rain continues to pour. The umbrellas are still up, the ponchos are on, but nobody is going anywhere. Everybody glued to the 2 giant screens to my left and right in the shadow of Nelson's column as we approach 10:20 local time on a Sunday evening. This could go down to the wire. Italy, remember, looking to win their first European Championship since the 1960s. England looking to win their first major trophy for 55 years. It is so dramatic, it is so tense. Our football reporter John Bennett glued to that extra time, as we all were. John, it's as you were, really. Italian dominance, England very much weathering the storm. Call it for us. How do you see this going in the second period of extra time?
Well, at the moment, it looks like penalties. Mike, strap yourself in at the fan park. It's going to be tense there watching a penalty shootout. But England have been poor, haven't they? Let's tell it as it is. England have been poor. Italy will be wondering how they haven't won this game, how they haven't taken full control of this game, because in terms of possession, in terms of territory, in terms of chances, in terms of ambition, they've dominated this game. Remember, it seems like a long time ago now, but England took the lead in under 2 minutes. Luke Shaw scoring, and after that, England just sat back, and it's been the pattern of the game for the whole time. And I wonder if England will live to regret it. They are hanging on in there at the moment. From an English perspective, it's great to see Jack Grealish on the pitch, but Italy is still the better team, and you just think that Italy will get that one chance before we get to a penalty shootout that they might be able to put away. At the moment, I just don't know where the creativity is coming from for England, although it looks as though Marcus Rashford is coming on.
Marcus Rashford about to come on. Yeah, absolutely. Marcus Rashford coming on. Who knows who he will replace at the moment? Surely not the captain, Harry Kane, because as you say, John, with 15 minutes to go only, the manager has to be thinking about penalties. Are we heading for spot kicks? Will the champions of Europe be determined by a penalty shootout? We shall see. Whatever the twists and turns in the final throws of this game, you will hear it with us here on the BBC World Service. Let's return immediately to our commentary team inside Wembley Stadium, the former Premier League striker Chris Sutton, and first, John Murray.
On a counter-attack and have players who can hurt Italy, but Italy have been so dominant, haven't they, since half-time in normal time.
And Italy now playing from right to left in the second half. The blue shirts with the gold numbers against England all in white. Rashford still with his training top on. Oh, and Stones puts in the challenge on Belotti, who was looking to turn it and rather dived in, and it's a free kick and it's a yellow card. He was looking to turn, and it was Maguire who came in with the challenge, actually, and Harry Maguire is shown the yellow card for that foul from behind on the Italian number 9, and the free kick in a central position, best part of 30 yards out. So the players milling around on the edge of the penalty area. Jorginho is there, Bernardeschi is there. Bernardeschi looks as though he'll be the man to take it. Bernardeschi.
Similar range from where Denmark scored from.
It is similar range. Maybe Damsgaard was a little to the right, but it is similar range. So Jordan Pickford standing on his line, hands on the top of his hips. Three-man England wall in the D. Bernardeschi waits. It's going to be a left-footed free kick. Steps up now, hits it low, and it's straight at Pickford, who juggles it, but then gathers it at the second attempt as Jorginho arrives. Just too late for Italy.
Left-footed around the wall, straight at Pickford, who fumbles. Jorginho nearly got there. Pickford gathered at the second attempt.
Oh, Chiellini looks a bit stiff here. Crikey. Ball downfield, bounced off Sterling onto Chiellini, off the pitch, and Chiellini there. Now he did look like a veteran. However, it's out and it's a throw-in to England. Second period of extra time. 13 minutes away from penalties. Walker stands with the ball spinning in his hand, and then up he comes, hurls it in. Maguire's after this, flicked across the box, Grealish with a shot, but that's blocked by Di Lorenzo. Comes out to Saka on the edge of the penalty area. Saka leaves it to Kane. Kane dinks it back in, diving header. Oh no, the goalkeeper Donnarumma just got there ahead of Stones, who threw himself at it. He was diving forward, Donnarumma was diving out, and the goalkeeper got the touch to it. England continue to press. Saka, it runs away from him, and then it's cleared away by Bonucci on the edge of the area. This has gone up to the halfway line. Italy break forward. Locatelli looking for Belotti. He gives it to Belotti, left side of the box. Belotti across to the back post. Shaw is there for exciting a period of end-to-end play that we've had in the entire 109 minutes.
What a 60 seconds we've just had. First of all, the cross goes in. Grealish gets a shot in. Di Lorenzo, brilliant block. Ball goes out to Harry Kane, edge of the box. He hooks across him, right-footed, and in-swinger. Donnarumma comes flying out, gets a hand to it. And then it's Italy breaking out, offside eventually. The Luke Shaw, nervy clearance there.
He's okay, Shaw. BBC Radio 5 Live. Italy 1, England 1. The World Service are with us. All of the local radio stations around England, from Cornwall to Kent, from the Norfolk Broads to the Lake District, and up to the very top of Northumberland as well. Listening in to Italy 1, England 1. Rachel Burden's at the National Football Museum at breakfast on 5 Live in the morning. Will she have anyone to talk to or not? Penalties on the way. Gareth Southgate waiting on the side of the pitch. 25 years ago, under Gareth Southgate, his England team, it all ended on penalties here at Wembley, Euro 96. I have to confess, I've always had a bit of a feeling that penalties would come into this somewhere for Southgate's England. Harry Maguire now, centre of the field, taking the ball out towards the left-hand side. To Shaw forward to Saka. Saka plays it back to Maguire, needed to be quick there, but the touch was good from the Manchester United captain. Stones shapes the pass to Henderson now on the right. Walker arriving, Italian shirts getting back into position. Henderson plays it all the way back towards the halfway line. Still 1-1. 110 minutes appears on the clock. Walker, square from him to Calvin Phillips. Belotti forces Phillips to turn away. turned back towards the halfway line. Maguire to Shaw on the left-hand side. But England are just playing in front of Italy at the moment. Here it is, up with Grealish. Expectancy rises. Grealish goes on a run out towards the right-hand side, across the edge of the box. Sterling to Henderson. Back to Sterling in the box. Sterling gets away. The challenge comes in on him. Excellent recovery from Chiellini. Outstanding Chiellini. And Italy are able to clear. And Stones heads it down. And England threatening here that they might finish strongly. 10 minutes to go.
Brilliant defending from Chiellini. 1v1. Sterling looked like he's gone past him, but big left boot from Chiellini.
Grealish again. Grealish past Bernardeschi. Grealish still going, cutting in field. Plays the ball out towards the left-hand side. Shaw's onto this against Di Lorenzo. And then Shaw's ball back. Doesn't find Saka. And Italy are able to clear it away downfield. And suddenly England are revitalised. On they come again. Stones to Sterling. What a wonderful ball that was from Henderson, by the way, through to Sterling when Chiellini put in the challenge. Ball out to the far side from Henderson. This is hooked away for Italy, and the ball just bounces harmlessly near the halfway line. The crowd, this crowd of over 67,000, have waited for a long time in this match for England to come again. But here, deep in extra time, England are threatening to do that. Phillips, Maguire, now it is Shaw on the left. Saka. And the crowd want to see Grealish get the ball. Simple as that. Stones, now out here to the right-hand side to Walker. Walker just passes it through to Henderson. Henderson has a look in field. Harry Kane is available there. Kane. Now through towards Sterling. Sterling, in comes the challenge on him. Grealish slides into it. The ball comes away. Grealish is caught. The reaction there was quite dramatic from Jack Grealish. The two players arrived at the same time, and Grealish has spun onto his left. Chiellini is unhappy with that. The challenge from Grealish. Chiellini saying his little bit about this. Calvin Phillips is in there as well. Now there's an Italian player down. The two of them coming together at the same time. And Grealish is still on his side. He's lying on his left side. Two players sort of spun in together for a 50-50 ball. There is a yellow card in the hand of referee Kuipers. And it's Jorginho. As Jorginho came in, Jorginho stepped on the ball and then stepped all across Jack Grealish's right thigh, his groin and his left thigh.
Well, I think Jorginho gets a bit of the ball, but it's the follow-through, isn't it? And Jack Grealish sitting up now. And I think that's a scandalous challenge, I do.
Surely VAR has to have a look at that.
Absolutely. I think Jorginho, could have seen red there.
I think Grealish will be okay because it was all on the meaty parts of it. Oh, no, he did. He caught him on the knee as well, actually. Just seen another angle now.
He'll say he got the ball first, but I'll tell you what, I think that's a red, John.
Well, we've not seen on the screen a suggestion that that's going to VAR. And the yellow card is out. Jack Grealish is up, pleased to say. Jorginho is still there as well. Yellow card is shown. Let's go down to Karen.
I think that's reckless, completely reckless, and you can tell by a player, especially Jack Grealish. We know he gets fouls a lot, especially in the Premier League, but the way he reacted, how he went down, I knew that was bad. The stadium knew that was bad. That was a shocking challenge from Jorginho, and I'd be fuming, and I am fuming.
Grealish is okay, that's the main thing, but that's certainly a talking point. And as far as I can tell, and listen, the communication about VAR has not been absolutely outstanding during the tournament, even though the system itself has worked rather better.
I think Jorginho was clever there, though, because he goes down as well, like he's injured.
Free kick to England, though. 6 minutes to go. Phillips curls it in high. Donnarumma comes and makes the catch high above Maguire. And he actually might have caught his own man, I think it's Di Lorenzo, and then the boos because Jorginho comes back onto the field. And Italy are back up to the full complement.
Ball from Calvin Phillips, too close to the big Italian keeper, who plucks it out of the sky.
Italy 1, England 1. 6:06 will follow after the end of the final, however long it takes in the presentation. And once we've chewed it all over, it'll be Chris Sutton along with Alistair Bruce Ball and special guest Terry Butcher, the former England captain, who'll be sitting on the edge of his seat, I'm sure, Terry, watching this one. Italy 1, England 1. And Italy with Bonucci and Chiellini together. Less than 5 minutes to go. Penalties await. It had to be, didn't it? Gareth Southgate standing coolly on the far side of the pitch with his hands in his pockets. He's taken off the Mac. The wet evening has dried up, and it might be penalty kicks. Emerson, though, plays it into the penalty area. Bernardeschi with a shot on the turn. He's saying that it came off the arm of Stones. Referee Kuipers, though, was less than 10 yards away and immediately ruled out that might be a penalty off the body of Stones.
Yeah, not so sure it hit him on the arm, but that was from very close range as well. That would have been extremely harsh.
Great appeal, though, from Bernardeschi.
The Italians are good at that.
Pickford. I think we are going to see Rashford and Sancho coming on. That has to be with penalties in mind, two penalty takers. Now heroes. Saka on the left-hand side. Saka takes it to the byline, and Grealish is in there as well. The ball bounces away off Grealish behind goal kick, says referee Kuipers very calmly. And England still have 3 more changes they could make, actually. But it's going to be an Italian change first, and it's going to be Florenzi, the right back. The right back who's been at Paris Saint-Germain this season. Alessandro Florenzi, who will take the place of Emerson. And then England, I think, are also going to make their 2 changes now as well. So the boost as the Italian changes made. So who's going to make way for England? We are only 2.5 minutes away from penalties. Rashford and Sancho not coming on just yet. And Florenzi has actually come across to play at left back, so Di Lorenzo stays at right back, Florenzi at left back. Throw in for England, halfway inside their own half. As at this stage of extra time, a goal now would probably win it. Whoever gets it would be European champions. Ball's out of play on the far side.
Still no board up for the subs. They're all stripped and ready to go.
Yeah, 4th officials lurking as though he's ready with the numbers, but I think England have said no, not yet, not yet. We're in the 119th minute of this Euro 2020 final. Underneath the turquoise arch of Wembley Stadium.
Well, England have got to hope the Italians don't keep the ball now for another minute and a half.
Yes, that's a very good point. Florenzi plays it in field. Here is Jorginho. Jorginho back to Bonucci. And then forward from Cristante. Now Florenzi down the left wing. Florenzi's cross comes off Jordan Henderson and spins behind. It's an Italian corner. But are England going to make the change now? Yes, they are. And it's Jordan Henderson who's coming off for Marcus Rashford. So Jordan Henderson, as a substitute, is going to be substituted. Remember, he missed the penalty in the warm-up match at Middlesbrough when he made his return from injury. So perhaps there's sense there. He missed the penalty in the Colombia match at the World Cup as well, in the shootout there. So off comes Jordan Henderson. On comes Marcus Rashford. Finally into the action. He's just been a fringe figure for England at this tournament. And the other change sees Kyle Walker off for Jadon Sancho.
Interesting how England shape up now
for the remaining seconds. Well, it's a corner. Big moment, this. Bernardeschi to take the corner for Italy. England must defend this. If Italy score, they're the champions. In it comes, a glance across the penalty area, and it's beaten everyone in there. Chiellini ended up on the ground on his knees at the far post. Italy continued to press. Grealish with a challenge, controlled at the near post by Phillips, and then left-footed, volleyed away downfield. I make it the 120 minutes are up. We are seconds away from penalties. In fact, there are 3 minutes of additional time. 3 minutes of time added on. England stand off Italy. Di Lorenzo then goes down under pressure from Saka.
And it's Marcus Rashford at right back, John. How many times has he played there in his career?
Disappointingly, Chris, I have to say I don't know that, but I know what I'd guess is the answer. So they are running at Rashford. And it's Bernardeschi. Rashford in with a challenge. Well done, Rashford. Not the most cultured challenge I think I've ever seen by a right back in my time. But he got enough on the ball and he actually played it off Bernardeschi and out for a throw into England. Maybe a future. Maybe a
Keeps
future.
defending like that,
yeah. Stones with a throw. And he leaves it, just bounces it into the ground for Rashford to take. And everyone here and everyone around the country, I reckon there'll be close on 30 million people watching in this country on television tonight. We're going to have a penalty shootout, it would seem. Jadon Sancho loses it on the halfway line. Jorginho plays it through. Now it is centrally for Italy with Locatelli. Chiellini is calling for it on the left wing. Instead it goes to Florenzi. Chiellini on the overlap. He didn't use him. He went back inside towards Jorginho. Square now. Di Lorenzo's joined the attack. Italy might have one last chance here. One last chance to win it and break English hearts. The ball swung into the England penalty area, but beyond the far post between Pickford and right back Rashford, who allows it to go through for a goal kick. And I make it, we have 40 seconds to play, Chris Sutton.
Yeah, dangerous ball in from the right-hand side. Fizzed in, left-footed, the Italian forwards on the heels. I just wonder, though, John, whether the Italians will feel they've done enough to win this game. Second half performance, have been the dominant side in extra time.
I can actually see the Pope, who's standing in the crowd right behind the goal that Pickford's defending. The man dressed as the Pope. Italy have got the Pope on their side inside the ground. And penalties come, that's a worry. A throw-in for England down the right. Seconds to go now. England, in some ways, have done very well to get this far. And it is penalties. Penalties will decide the Euro 2020 final. Bjorn Kuipers blows the whistle, and it's finished 1-1 after extra time, Chris Sutton.
Yeah, when we go to penalties, Italy, very strong finish to the game. England holding on, but I'm heartened with a stat, John, which I've been sent from little Bruce Ball, that no team has ever won 2 penalty shootouts at the same European Championship. Italy have already won one.
Italy won one in the last round. There've only been 3 penalty shootouts at Euro 2020 before this, and in them France lost to Switzerland, who lost to Spain, who lost to Italy, who are now about to play England.
The Euro 2020 final, live from the BBC.
And we are going all the way here on the BBC World Service. A penalty shootout awaits between England and Italy at the Euro 2020 final. This is a Sports World special with me, Mike Williams. Let's head back to Wembley and quickly check in with Maz Faruqi, who is outside the National Stadium in northwest London. Maz, drama, tension, anticipation. You can cut it with a knife. How can you call this? Who could call it?
Oh, I can't, Mike. I mean, who knows what happens in a penalty shootout, but nerves jangling here. There are so many fans who've just been watching this, streaming this, listening to this outside the National Stadium on Wembley Way here. But those Italy fans in the second half, so impressive to really cheer their team back into it. That was the main thing that I saw from the atmosphere inside that stadium for that final. The Italy fans, incredible, despite there only being 6,000 to 8,000 of them. What a noise they were making in that second half.
Seeing pictures of Tom Cruise, David Beckham, the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge, all the dignitaries, the great and the good, the VIPs inside Wembley Stadium. Let's bring in John Bennett, our football reporter, also watching the action. John, we're looking at pictures of Gareth Southgate giving a team talk. He, of all people, knows the pressure and the fallout that can come from a penalty shootout. And again, equally, Roberto Mancini, the Italian manager, giving the last-minute instructions here. I mean, it is on a knife edge. Penalties, of course, a complete lottery. But who do you have as the psychological favourites going into this shootout?
Well, it's all about the goalkeepers, isn't it now? We know Jordan Pickford, 3 years ago at the World Cup, he was the hero when England finally won a penalty shootout for the first time since Euro 96, I think it was, when they beat Spain. So they beat Colombia 3 years ago. Jordan Pickford was the hero. But then you look at Italy's goalkeeper. He is huge. He is so imposing when he gets to that penalty spot. Gianluigi Donnarumma, one of the best goalkeepers in the world. He's had a wonderful tournament. I just wonder if he will make the difference in this shootout. Because of him, I would make Italy slight favourites in this shootout. But that stat from Chris Sutton is astonishing. No team has won 2 penalty shootouts in the Euros before. But I make Italy slight favourites because of Donnarumma.
Well, Italy have been in 10 penalty shootouts at major tournaments in their history. They've won 4, lost 6. Of course, famously won the World Cup in 2006, having beaten France on penalties. And as you mentioned, they beat Spain in the semi-finals on penalties as well. So they have the pedigree. England, a far less illustrious history from spot kicks. But will they prevail at their home stadium in front of 60,000 fans? The drama, the tension is on a knife edge. We're looking at pictures of the 2 captains, Giorgio Chiellini, the Italy defender, and the England captain, Harry Kane, tossing the coin. I can tell you that England have won that toss, and Harry Kane has elected to take the penalties in front of the England fans, and that will be a bonus to the home side, he will think. So, spot kicks live on this Sports World special here on the BBC World Service. The Euro 2020 final going all the way between England and Italy. We've just seen pictures of Gareth Southgate, the England manager, with a bit of paper and a pen in his hand, seemingly writing down a list of potential penalty takers. You would have thought that with the meticulous planning and preparation that this manager puts into this tournament, you would think that he would already have his list of 5 designated penalty takers. Perhaps it was for show, perhaps it was superficial, but he's going through them now. John Bennett, come back in on this. Surely Gareth Southgate knows his penalty takers, but he was going around pointing at Jack Grealish, almost looking for a nod of approval. What's going on?
It's all the subs. It's all the subs, Mike. It's confusing for these managers to keep up after all the players he's brought on. Remember, he's just brought on Sancho, just brought on Rashford. The interesting thing for me, in the penalty shoot, before the penalty shootout in the semi-final, Italy-Spain, Giorgio Chiellini tried a few antics with the Spain captain Jordi Alba. He was grabbing him and pushing him. None of that with Harry Kane. He looked a lot more serious. I wonder if the tension is even getting to the great and the experienced Giorgio Chiellini.
Final word from Bjorn Kuipers to the 2 referees, Donnarumma and Pickford. And here we go. This is it. Penalties. The Euro 2020 final comes down to spot kicks. Let's get back to our commentary team straight away inside Wembley Stadium. John Murray, penalty shootout, take it away.
Missing the crucial penalty in the semi-final for England. And now he's the manager and it's gone down to a penalty shootout in the final to decide if England can win a trophy for the first time since 1966. Italy to go first. Domenico Berardi. A left-footed penalty against Jordan Pickford, who is sent the wrong way. And Berardi gets Italy off to a scoring start in the shootout, 1-0.
Yeah, cool as you like from Berardi. Left-footed. Pickford dives to his left-hand side. Berardi sends him the wrong way. And here comes the England captain.
So it's Harry Kane who missed the penalty. in the semi-final in extra time. Harry Kane, who scored England's first penalty in the shootout at the World Cup in the last 16, when England had never before won a penalty shootout at a World Cup. Harry Kane, 4-5 steps back. Donnarumma on the line. Kane comes up and, oh, he beats him and scores. Donnarumma went the right way, but Kane put enough on it, and it's 1-1.
Now, boy, did he mean that, Harry Kane. Real conviction. Whips it across Donnarumma. Gareth Southgate, little fist pump there.
Next, for Italy, it is Andrea Belotti, who came on as a substitute. Belotti, who has not scored at the tournament, places the ball on the spot. One big stride back, and then 3, 4, 5. He's standing in the deep. Jordan Pickford comes off the line. Pickford jumping up and down, touching the crossbar, still jumping. Belotti waits. Penalty shootout to decide the final of Euro 2020. Here comes Belotti, and Pickford saves! Down to his left! Oh, the cheers! Advantage England in the shootout.
He reads it brilliantly. Jordan Pickford. It's not a good penalty. Pickford gambles to his left-hand side. Not the direction, not the pace from Belotti. England have the advantage.
Harry Maguire, who scored the first penalty when England were involved in the shootout in Guinea in the Nations League back in 2019. So it's Harry Maguire to shoot England ahead in the shootout. Donnarumma on the line. He looks so big. Maguire comes up, oh, and puts his foot through it and rattles it into the top of the net. And the ball bounces back to him, and he picks it up, and he jumps and gives a fist bump to the crowd. It's 2-1 England in the shootout.
Have some of that, Italy. Maguire laces that. I mean, that goes into the top corner, the roof of the net. That's a stunning penalty. 3 Donnarummas wouldn't have saved that.
It's Bonucci next, the man who scored the goal to equalise. Now, he is a regular Italian penalty taker. Scored in the Euro 26 quarter-final against Germany. So it's Bonucci for Italy now, a little stop, and then a very good penalty high above Pickford, who went the right way, but it's in, and it's back at 2-2, and a clenched fist from Bonucci to his teammates standing in a line on the halfway.
Pressure penalty. Stutters, stops, has a look at Jordan Pickford, and then he whips it to Pickford's right-hand side into the top corner.
So Pickford has already saved from Belotti. Donnarumma has been beaten twice. Remember, Donnarumma saved from Morata, crucially, in the penalty shootout here on Tuesday. It's Marcus Rashford. Marcus Rashford scored 3 out of 3 penalties for England in his time. Scored in Moscow in the World Cup shootout. He's only just come onto the field here, though, late on in the extra time. So it's Marcus Rashford who steps out towards the left, a little stutter, and then, oh, hits the post and misses. Donnarumma went the wrong way, but Rashford went for placement and hit the post. And it remains 2-2. Each team have taken 3 penalties, Chris.
Took a long time, didn't he, to take that, Marcus Rashford. Slow run up, looks at Donnarumma, sends him the wrong way, but then hits the post, agonising for England.
So it's all square at 2-2 after 3 penalties each. It's Bernardeschi now, the Italian number 20 with the dyed blonde hair. Jordan Pickford on the line again, clapping his hands, all animation. Bernardeschi, left-footed, sends it down the middle. Pickford leapt to his right with the ball in the back of the net, and Italy now 3-2 up.
Good penalty. Bernardeschi goes down the middle. Pickford goes early, throws himself to his right-hand side. Advantage Italy.
So now it's the other substitute who is brought on with penalties in mind, Jadon Sancho, who I would guess in the next few days will complete his big money move to Manchester United. He's just been a peripheral figure at these European Championship. And now Jadon Sancho. This to make it 3-3. Jadon Sancho comes up, a little delay, and it's saved by Donnarumma. Down to his left. Sancho misses. It remains 3-2 Italy. And if they score the next penalty, Italy are the European champions and England will lose in the final.
Yeah, and the irony is it's that the two subs, the specialist penalty takers who have both missed. Sancho telegraphs that. Donnarumma down to his left-hand side, comfortable save, and Jorginho could have possibly been sent off, John.
Could have been sent off. That will be the talk after the game. But it is Jorginho who scored past Jordan Pickford just a few months ago for Chelsea against Everton in the Premier League. Pickford must save this. If Jorginho scores, Italy win. And Gareth Southgate's England will lose in the final on a penalty shootout. So Jorginho now sets up, and there's the little delay, and Pickford saved it! Oh my goodness, down to his right! Got his hands, I think he pushed it onto the post! Oh! Have you ever? Still 3-2 to Italy. So Bukayo Saka now, the 19-year-old, has to score this. Has to score this to keep it going, to take it to sudden death. Saka is already waiting. It's not a long run-up. It's a left-footed penalty. Here he comes. Oh, he saved it! Donnarumma saves. England missed 3 consecutive penalties in the shootout. It's poor Bukayo Saka who misses the crucial one. But Donnarumma, almost unbeatable there. And Italy win it. Italy win the penalty shootout. They're European champions again for the first time since the 60s. And England, Gareth Southgate's England, lose in a penalty shootout in the final. What a twist. What a terrible twist for England. And the Italian players all stream downfield and pile on one another in front of the stand. And the England players, they go. Gareth Southgate has gone straight across. Gareth Southgate is there now with Bukayo Saka, who is inconsolable. And Gareth Southgate, this feels like the ages all coming together, as the man who missed the penalty for England 25 years ago knows exactly how Bukayo Saka will feel. And he is there, the England manager. And now the rest of the England players join as well, and Gareth Southgate moves away. But that's it. Italy have won it. It's Italy's title. 1-1 after extra time and 3-2 in the penalty shootout. Donnarumma, outstanding. 2 saves from Sancho and then from Saka. And it is Italy who become European champions for the first time for over half a century. And England are disconsolate, Chris Sutton.
Yeah, once again, England and penalty shootouts, they just don't go together. An absolute sickener for Gareth Southgate. The poor Saka at the end. Fair play to him having the courage to step up. Donnarumma got such a big presence. Made the save, and there are lots of tears down there. You feel for the England players who have put so much into this tournament. They really have. I have to say, John, I thought the better team won on the night. Italy were the better team. England had a good first half. Second half, I think Italy dominated. Extra time, thought Italy edged it. England played with lots of heart, and maybe just wasn't meant to be at the end of the day. Tears from the England players, tears from the Italian players. Just seeing the second penalty again, he goes across Donnarumma. It's not going right into the corner. All, was he 6'5"? All 6'5" of him getting down to his left-hand side, making the saves, and then we see the wild celebrations from the Italian players. Chiellini, Bonucci, the old stages. Some tournament from Italy, the Italian players run and jump on Donnarumma, but it's heartbreak for Gareth Southgate and England.
The fans are leaving the central fan zone here in Trafalgar Square in their droves. We watched the drama of that penalty shootout in the rain. In the end, it ended in heartbreak for England. The vast majority of the 1,400 fans here were supporting the home side, but the small pocket of Italian fans are in absolute raptures. They have won the European Championship for the first time since the 1960s. Roberto Mancini's mission is complete. The side that didn't even qualify for the last World Cup in Russia in 2018 are the new European champions, and their unbeaten run, it is now stretched to 34 matches. Absolutely incredible from the Azzurri at Wembley. They have beaten England in their home turf, and it is Italy who are living la dolce vita at Wembley in the rain. They have beaten England on penalties in the Euro 2020 final. From all of us here at the BBC World Service, thanks for listening.
It's not a long run-up. It's a left-footed penalty. Here he comes. Oh, he saved it! Donnarumma saved! England missed 3 consecutive penalties in the shootout. It's poor Bukayo Saka who misses the crucial one, but Donnarumma almost unbeatable there. And Italy win it. Italy win the penalty shootout. They're European champions.
Sports World is a BBC Sport production for the BBC World Service.
You're listening to the BBC World Service, where Annie Thompson is celebrating the role of women in sporting history.
Catherine Switzer, Olga Corbett, Althea Gibson, just some of the names pivotal in getting women recognised in sport today.
I mean, that was the moment, that was the pinnacle, that was you reaching that Mount Everest.
Join me as I celebrate some of the sporting heroines of history.
Tuesday at 8 and 12:30.